on your Barrie Baycats. Here are this afternoon's starting lineups. First for the visiting Hamilton Cardinals. Batting first, the first baseman, number 22, Tristan Osika. Batting second, the shortstop, number 43, Luis Jean. Batting third, the center fielder, number 11, Justin Gideon. Batting fourth, the right fielder, number 15, Tyler Duncan. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 6, Larry Rio. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 17, Anthony Gianachito. Batting eighth, the third baseman, number 16, Kyle Bianco. And batting ninth, the catcher, number 32, Jacob Underwood. The second baseman, number 31, Nathan Sprago. Pitching today for the Hamilton Cardinals, number 38, Sam Turcotte. And now, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, put your hands together. Here's the starting lineup for your Barrie Baycats. Managed by Josh Backlow. Batting first, the center fielder, number 15, Jake Wilson. Batting second, the second baseman, number 7, Royce Endo. Batting third, the left fielder, number 95, Noel McGarry Doyle. Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 27, Ryan Rio. Batting fifth, the third baseman, number 8, Branty Infante. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 5, Michael Pacheco. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 44, Tyler Plumpton. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 34, James Anderson. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns. Pitching today for your Baycats, number 30, Juan Benitez. Fans, we ask that you please rise if you are able to, and kindly remove your hats for the playing of our Canadian national anthem.
A very happy good afternoon to one and all, and welcome to Vintage Throne Stadium in Springwater. Intercounty Baseball today is the Hamilton Cardinals take on the Barrie Baycats. Hello again, everyone. With Patrick Melbourne, I'm Ben Davy. The Baycats certainly were in a celebratory mood Thursday night following their dramatic 2-1 win over their arch rivals, the Toronto Maple Leafs. And if there's one thing, perhaps, Patrick, that they may want to think about and work on coming into today's game is the offense and maybe get the bat swinging a little bit in the earlier innings today.
Yeah, it was a good game for the Baycats' first time out against the Maple Leafs, but today it's going to be a big challenge because the Hamilton Cardinals are here, and in their first game, the bats were really, really present for them. They had a great game offensively, scoring 11 runs in their season opener, and they have mostly the same lineup out there today, so we'll see if they can do that again. Juan Benitez will have to be on his game as the starting pitcher for Barrie.
Let's look at the lineup for the Cardinals this afternoon. At first base, it's Tristan Osika. Louis Jean, who hit for the cycle last night at shortstop, batting second. Justin Gideon, the center fielder, bats third. Tyler Duncan, the cleanup man, in right field today. Lane Renaud, the DH, batting fifth. Anthony Buonaiuto in left field batting sixth. Tyler Gianco, Jacob Underwood, and Nathan Scragg filling out the bottom of the order for the Hamilton Cardinals here today.
On the man for the Barrie Baycats, right-hander Juan Benitez. He was their ace for most of last season, one of their most reliable pitchers in the rotation. This year, he is the number 2 guy to start off the year as Jason Aquino pitched in the opener. Benitez is a really, really solid guy to have on the mound. He's got 4 pitches. Some say 3, some say 4, depending on how you like his changeup slash splitter. But he's also got the slider and the fastball to deal against hitters. So he'll be out there to get the game going on this Junior Baycats Day, Ben, Saturday at 4 o'clock.
And there are only 5 games on the schedule this season if you like afternoon baseball. 21 home games, 5 of those are 4 o'clock starts, and this is one of them here today. So for fans that like to come and enjoy the sunshine and avoid the flurry of mosquitoes that always come around the 6th or 7th inning, these are definitely the ball games to come to. And looks like Mother Nature's going to cooperate. We had some torrential rain, especially to our south a little earlier on this afternoon, but right now an overcast sky and things are starting to dry up.
Yeah, severe thunderstorm warnings around the area just a couple hours ago. Really glad that it got all clear. We look up at the sky right now for the game time weather. It's gray. We don't know what's going to be happening over the next couple hours, but right now it is nice and cool. There is no sign of rain. And as the first batter steps up to the plate, here is Ben Davy.
First for the Hamilton Cardinals, the first baseman, number 22, Tristan Osika.
Osika doubled, tripled, drove in a run, scored 3 times in that big win over Brantford last night. As Benitez winds the leg kick, and the first offering of today's ball game is hit on the ground to short. Up with it, Carson Burns, routine play to first. Low, but scooped by Rio. And there's one out. Let's look at the defense for the Barrie Baycats behind Josh Matlow here today.
Let's do it left to right in the outfield. It's the same left and center fielders as the opener. Noel McGarry-Doyle in left, Jake Wilson in center. Different right fielder. It was Branthby and Fonte in the opener. It's James Anderson today. Anderson can play left, right, and catcher. Really nice guy to have defensively, flexibility-wise. On the infield, Infante moves over to third. Shortstop is Carson Burns, as usual. Second baseman is Roy Sando. First baseman is Ryan Rio. Behind the plate, Tyler Plumpton for Juan Benitez.
And here's the man of the weekend. Luis Jean hit for the cycle last night in Brantford, a double in the first. He struck out, then he walked, singled in the 5th, tripled to lead off the 8th, and then a 2-run blast in the 9th. So he saved the 2 hardest ones for the 8th and 9th inning, Patrick. I don't think anybody saw it coming last night, but suddenly after the 8th inning, everybody's like, wow.
When's the last time that's happened in the IBL where a guy opens the season with a cycle?
I've never called a game where I've seen a cycle happen in all my years of broadcasting. So
we have some people really familiar with the history of the IBL maybe watching this broadcast. If you're familiar, let us know on Twitter at Barrie Baycats, or at IBL Baycats on Twitter, or at Barrie Baycats on Instagram. Let us know if you know of a time where a cycle's happened on opening day for a team.
Yeah, it's unusual enough just to see one, as I mentioned, but on opening day, I'm not sure. That might be unprecedented.
Fans got to see some history.
Benitez stands 6'6", 210-pounder. Here's the 2-2. And he gets the outside corner, strike 3. Plumpton with the tag, and there's 2 out in the inning.
Well, one of the things you want to see early on from Juan Benitez is that all of his pitches are moving and being controlled well. His one big weakness last year was sometimes early in the game, his fastball didn't have as much life as he wanted it to. So if that's happening early and he's getting good results, that's a really good sign this season for Benitez.
So 2 outs here in the first. It's brought to you by Starting Lineup Uniforms and Apparel, the official jersey provider of the Barrie Baycats. Your season starts here. Benitez, hailing from San Pedro de Macari, Dominican Republic, put together a very nice 5-2 record for the Baycats last year, a 3.04 ERA.
Spent some time in the Miami Marlins organization. I believe he's pitched in the Dominican Winter League, Lidom.
Really anchored Barrie's starting rotation here in 2021. And a called strike makes it 2-1 to number 3 hitter Justin Gideon. Benitez went 1-1 in the postseason for the Baycats. The win over Welland and a loss in round 2 against Toronto. 2-1 on the ground foul over to the Barrie dugout, and the count is even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Justin Gideon led the Cardinals with a .368 average last season in Hamilton, played all 30 games, the only Cardinal to play in every regular season game for Hamilton. 2-2 is fouled off, and Gideon stays alive. '27-year-old native of Pickering joined the Cardinals in 2019 after the Burlington Herd relocated to Welland. Gideon opted to join the Cardinals, and many other players from that Burlington club relocated as well. That one in the dirt. And the count is full now, 3 balls, 2 strikes to the center fielder. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. The leg kick, the pitch from Benitez. And this one's hit to center field. Over Jake Wilson. Not in time. It'll drop to his right. And a base hit as the Cardinals get a runner on with 2 out here in the first.
Pitch right in the middle of the zone.
Right fielder number 55, Tyler Duncan.
Gideon led the Cardinals in most offensive categories last season. 6 homers, 20 RBIs. Scored 24 runs to lead the Cardinals. 12 doubles as well.
Well, this Cardinals batting order can hit. And we saw that, like we mentioned, in that first game. They're expected to do that throughout the season.
Well, the Cardinals wasted no time spoiling that Brantford home opener last night. They jumped all over starter Bennett Moore for a 3-run first. Added 2 more in the third for a 5-0 lead and just never looked back, cruising to an 11-1 rout. And this team did struggle offensively at times last season, but wouldn't have known it from the offensive output we saw last night. If you're wondering about Gideon at first, he stole 8 bases last season, was only caught 1 time.
For those of you wondering and maybe scoring at home following along.
Off the glove of Benitez, but it's picked up by the shortstop. Made the throw over, not in time. And I wonder if Carson Burns maybe thought about trying to outrun the base runner, Gideon.
Well, the ball took a tricky hop up the middle, and there's not much you can do besides play it. And by the time he was playing it, he really didn't have a play on either side. He was running down the line first base side, and both runners were likely going to be safe. It was just a really unfortunate bounce for Carson Burns.
It's an infield hit for Tyler Duncan, so Gideon at second, Duncan at first, and it brings the DH Lane Renaud to the plate.
Just wanted to quickly mention, for anybody scoring at home or following along at home with our game live from Point Streak, the numbers might be a little different for the Hamilton Cardinals. They have a different setup with their red jerseys, so just keep an eye on that.
Yeah, threw a bit of a curveball to us here as we were preparing our scorebooks for today's game, but the jersey situation obviously making things a little bit tricky with the numbers today, so we'll do our best to make sure you know who's in the right spot at the right time here throughout the game.
And you should have it on the top right of the screen for most batters. So Lane Renaud wearing number 6 today.
So Juan Benitez in a first inning jam here with 2 on, 2 out. A single by Gideon and then the infield hit off Benitez's glove for Tyler Duncan. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Renaud. The pitch, swing and a miss as Benitez comes right at him with a high heater, and it's 1-2.
Good to see he's trusting his fastball early on. Especially after that hit right to center field. It's easy to lose faith in a pitch early if you don't think it's working, but if you have only a few pitches, Benitez has 3 or 4, you need to go back to all of them and have trust in all of them.
Renaud got his first home run of the 2022 campaign last night in Brantford. A solo shot in that big 11-1 rout over the Red Sox. Boy, Brantford taking it on the chin, back-to-back games to start their season, losing in Welland, and then 11-1 last night in their home opener. Fouled off to our right into the parking lot, and the count will hold at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Anthony Buonaiuto, the left fielder, is on deck as the home plate umpire gets 2 handfuls of baseballs. With 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the top of the first inning. Cardinals looking to get on the board early. Renault waggles the bat. Benitez, the leg kick, the 2-2, swung on and missed. 2 strikeouts for Juan Benitez in the top of the first, and after a half an inning, we're scoreless here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Patrick Melbourne with Ben Davy at Vintage Throne Stadium. After a half an inning, we're scoreless. Let's give you the starting lineup for the Barrie Baycats today under manager Josh Matlow. Jake Wilson in center field leads off. Royce Ando, second base, batting second. Noel McGarry-Doyle moves up to the number 3 spot this afternoon. He's in left field. Ryan Rio, the cleanup man, at first. Brant Fianfatti at third. Michael Cicchetto at DH. Tyler Plumpton, James Anderson, and Carson Burns, the bottom third of the order.
On the mound for the Hamilton Cardinals. We'll get to that in a second.
And a base hit. Jake Wilson, first pitch swinging.
On base really quick, Jake Wilson. Sam Turcotte on the mound for the Hamilton Cardinals. First year in the IBL for Turcotte. The Cardinals signed him out of Stony Brook University. Stands at 6'5" on the mound. He went 6-3 last season with a 2.93 ERA. Had 66 strikeouts in 67 2/3 innings pitched. Looking for length out of him today and a nice fastball.
Turcotte starts Royce Ando off with a strike. Jake Wilson last year, 10 steals, was caught once. And the Baycats get their first batter on base here to start off the first. Way out in front of that is Ando. He whiffs and misses strike 2. Turcotte, 24-year-old right-hander from Toronto, stands 6'4", lanky 210 pounds. Righty-righty matchup here, 0-2 to Royce Ando. Turcotte checks the runner. Back on his belly is Wilson.
Jake Wilson's got some speed. One of the best runners on the team alongside Noel McGarry-Doyle.
Runner goes. Hit and run was on to second. He checks over his shoulder, only has one play though, and that's the first for the out. So Wilson moves up 90 feet. Ando retired, and there's one away.
The left fielder, number 95, Noel McGarry-Doyle.
McGarry-Doyle batting third today after hitting 5th in the opener.
And he reached base all 5 plate appearances in that season opener against Toronto here on Thursday night. Pair of singles, was hit by a pitch and reached on an error. Wilson at second, 1 out. First pitch to McGarry Doyle is a called strike. Noel with a .362 average for the Baycats last season. And believe it or not, that was third behind Jeff Cowan and Ryan Rio, who led at .412.
Rio standing on deck, and then Wilson also the all-star, so a good top of the order for the Baycats.
Into left field for a base hit. Wilson holds up at third as he gets the stop sign from Andrew White, and the throw comes in. Runners at the corners with 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning.
Right call at third base. Couple of base runners on now for Ryan Rio.
27, Ryan Rio.
Well, with a big bat like Rio coming up and Brantford and Fonte to follow, that's one of the advantages of having some power in the middle of the order. You don't need to take those chances necessarily early on in a ball game.
So Noel McGarry Doyle has now been on the base every single time through a game and an at-bat.
That's correct, and I think I said 5 plate appearances on Thursday. It was actually 4.
And there's that speed from Noel McGarry Doyle as he goes into second base without much competition there. They really want McGarry Doyle to run. They were showing off his bunting yesterday, and he managed to get on base with what looked like a sacrifice bunt.
Check swing in the dirt, and it's a strike as Rio went around 0-2.
I was talking to Josh Matlow after the game yesterday, and he was just super happy with what he saw out of Noel McGarry Doyle's speed. He thinks he can be a real difference maker on the base paths.
Ryan Rio had a team-leading 26 RBIs last year for the Baycats. He'll wait for an 0-2 from Sam Turcotte. Here's the pitch. Gets away from the catcher. Runners stay put. And it's 1-2. Ben Braun got the win for the Cardinals last night in Brantford. 6 stellar shutout innings. Surrendered only 2 hits. He struck out 5 and walked 3.
He's been a good pitcher for them for a couple years now.
And he's pitched very well against the Baycats when the Cardinals have been in town as well. So Braun got the season opener. Turcotte today, and I would assume Chris Lazar will work the Cardinals home opener tomorrow afternoon. On the ground to second. This will bring a run home as Rio is retired. Wilson scores, and it's 1-0 Baycats in the first. And that is what makes Ryan Rio so good. Executing in the right situation, in the right way.
Number 8, Brantford Infante.
Not looking for a 3-run blast there. Just get it on the ground. He knew Wilson has the speed to get home from third.
Baycats mentioned it before the season that they were going to use Brantford Infante in both an infield and outfield role. We've seen that already through 2 games. Right field yesterday, third base today.
Off speed, catches the corner for a strike.
And Infante is such a good hitter that he fits any position. Even the positions where you don't really need a big hitter, he brings a big bat.
Fouls that one back to the screen. McGarry Doyle went to third on that sacrifice ground up by Rio. So Wilson scoring, McGarry Doyle at third. 2 out in the inning now for Infante. Sam Turcotte with a nod, comes set. 0-2 pitch. Curveball missed, and it's 1-2.
And GMs are always looking at the first start from a pitcher when the pitcher joins the league. And especially that first inning, how he adjusts right off the bat.
And it's interesting, too, because sometimes a newcomer to the league will really struggle in their first appearance, and then they'll settle down and really get comfortable.
Yep.
And, we saw that with, I think, Marshall Leishman last season, if I remember correctly. Really struggled in his first appearance. I think that was in Brantford.
And then he went to Welland and looked really good.
Called strike 3, Infante frozen, and he is not happy about that. Just a quick word for the umpire as he heads off to the dugout. And the Baycats strand a runner, but they score the game's first run. And after 1 inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium, it's the Baycats 1, the Cardinals scoreless.
One run on 2 hits and no errors for the Baycats. Moving along to the second inning, which is brought to you by Barrie Today. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycats scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com. Life is precious. Be prepared. Second inning brought to you by BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. Anthony Buonaiuto, the left fielder, will lead it off here for the Cardinals in the top of the second. Tyler Giancos and Jacob Underwood to follow. 1-0 Barrie after an inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Second game of the season for both of these clubs. Strike one to Anthony Buonaiuto.
Defense playing with a big hole in the middle between second base and where the second baseman is playing.
Mentioned the Cardinals have not been home yet this season, opening the year with 2 road games last night in Brantford and today here. Tomorrow at 2:05 is when they kick off their home portion of the schedule at Burnie Arbor Stadium, and they will play the Guelph Royals. And that will be significant because Guelph and Toronto were canceled today due to inclement weather. So today was supposed to be the Royals' return to the IBL. A much anticipated game this afternoon ended up gets canceled, so their first game is going to be on the road in Hamilton tomorrow. This one right back to Benitez, makes the throw in time, one away.
A whole lot of people are going to be watching that one for Dalton Pompey, aren't they?
Yeah, that's going to be a good, you're right, a good point there. A lot of views on the webcast, I'm sure. And I know fans in Guelph are just so happy to have baseball back. The Royals took last season off with the pandemic uncertainty, and then, of course, the 2020 season was canceled. So it's been a long time since they've had some baseball to enjoy in Guelph, and unfortunate that today's game got canceled. But
and for a bit, it looked like the game might be canceled here with all the weather around the area, but it cleared up.
Well, there was some really nasty weather to our west and south, and would imagine Guelph was probably right in the middle of that line of thunderstorms that came sweeping right across the northern part of the GTA and York region earlier today.
I hope everybody watching is all right through that.
Third baseman Tyler Giancos hits this one to center field. Jake Wilson trots in, and he takes it for the out, 2 away. Benitez has retired 3 in a row, and Jacob Underwood will bat with 2 out.
And we hope everybody in general is doing well with the thunderstorms, if they're still happening or if they're done now in your area. We're just looking out through the right field side. It looks like almost, Ben, that the clouds are going to go away. So that could be a good thing here.
Underwood takes a called strike. Well, I'm not a weather analyst or specialist by any means, but whenever you get a cold front in behind that hot, muggy weather is when you have the potential for that thunderstorm activity, and that's what happened today. And now we can feel it here in Barrie, just north of Barrie. The temperatures dropped to 15 degrees, and we had humidex readings into the low 30s earlier today.
Sounding a bit like a weather analyst.
Well, apparently not, because I didn't wear a jacket, and if I had have known all of that, I would have.
Yeah, that was not a good call.
To short. Burns to Rio, and there's 3 down in the second inning. We go to the bottom of the second. Barrie 1, Hamilton nothing. You're watching Baycats TV.
yard, proudly presented by Rock 95. They are on site here today. Feel free to stop on by the tent, say hello. There could be some giveaways. Rock 95, proud sponsor of Junior Baycats Saturdays here at Vintage Throne Stadium. For the Baycats, the designated hitter, number 5, Michael Cachetto.
Fans, all Saturday afternoon home games, including this one that start at 4 p.m. this season, are Junior Baycats Days with the support and partnership of Rock 95, Cool FM, Barrie 360, Moonwalk Entertainment, and Dream Parties. Family fun will be taken to a whole new level.
Bottom of the second, Michael Cachetto for the Baycats. Tyler Plumpton and James Anderson to follow. Barrie up 1-0. Game 2 with a 2022 IBL schedule. Barrie on the road Monday afternoon in Kitchener for their first away game this season. Both these teams 1-0 coming into this tilt here today. And the 1-1 pitch on the way from right-hander Sam Turcotte. Swing and a miss. Mentioned that Toronto was postponed in Guelph today due to inclement weather. In Welland, they did get the ball game in, and it's in the bottom of the 9th right now with the Jackfish down by a run. 7-6 Majors. That's a called strike 3. Tag applied, and he'll throw it around the horn, 1 away. So London 7, Welland 6, bottom of the 9th. At the pond in Welland.
Number 44, Tyler Lupton.
Tyler Plumpton was player of the game after game 1, which was opening day. Hit into shallow center field to win the game.
Strike 1 to Plumpton. That was a great moment for the Baycat veteran catcher. Perfectly placed ball into right center field. Just dropped over the infielders' heads who were going back. And it brought home James Anderson with the winning run. He hits this one on the ground to second. An easy play for Scragg, and there's 2 away in the second inning.
The right fielder, number 34, James Anderson.
And the man who scored that winning run here on Thursday night comes to the plate. He was on as a pinch runner for Adam Odd in that 9th inning.
Odd currently day-to-day after injuring himself running to first base in the opener.
And this one hit over the glove of a leaping Nathan Scragg and into center field for a base hit. So James Anderson, first pitch swinging, and he gets aboard. His first at bat of 2022, and it only took 1 pitch for him to get on.
The shortstop, number 3.
That's another welcome to the 2022 IBL season moment, because that was his first pitch he saw this season. He pinch ran in the first game. That's the only time he saw on the field.
And it just underscores again the importance of being ready to come in off the bench. I mean, you might not play for 8 innings, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in as a pinch runner, and next thing you know, you're crossing home plate with a winning run in a 2-1 ball game in the bottom of the 9th. So Anderson definitely one of those guys who knows how to stay ready even when he's not in the starting lineup. Tonight he gets a start and gets aboard, and this one is skied to right field. Racing over is Duncan, and it drops about 4 feet in front of him.
Duncan never really ran like he had a great look at where that ball was going. Most of the time outfielders have a certain confidence as they run to the ball. seeing it right off the bat. I don't think he had that right there.
Yeah, it looked like he misjudged it. There's really no wind, so I don't think that was a factor.
It's all about the visibility here with the gray clouds against the white baseball. It makes it a lot harder to see versus, when the lights are on to the dark sky or when it's clear out.
Swing and a miss, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Carson Burns, the shortstop.
You'll probably find that most of the outfielders prefer the night games for that because the day games, even if it's clear out, there's the sun, right? So you don't know what angle that's coming in from.
Burns went 1 for 4 on Thursday night against the Leafs. Yeah, sometimes the overcast skies can actually be the harder ones. Sam Turcotte with the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Baycats strand a runner as Anderson with the hit stays put, and that will do it for the second inning and the Baycats. We go to the third. It's still 1-0 Barrie. You're watching Baycats TV. Third inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium with the Baycats on top of the Cardinals 1-0. And first pitch swinging is Nathan Scragg, and it's into left field for a base hit. Third hit of the afternoon for the Cardinals. And back to the top of the order now for Tristan Osika. We have a final from Welland. We mentioned that the Majors were clinging to a 7-6 lead in the bottom of the ninth. Welland has pulled it off. An 8-7 upset victory over the defending champions, and Welland did it with the strength of 6 runs in the bottom of the ninth inning. London squandered a 7-1 lead as this one's back to the mound. Benitez throws to first. Runner advances 1 away. The London Majors led 7-1 going into the bottom of the 8th. Welland scored a run, and then 6 in the 9th for the 8-7 win. Just goes to show you, anything can happen at the ballpark on any given day, and if you enjoy thrilling finishes, never leave early.
Number 43, Louis G.
I hope all of those Jackfish fans stuck around to see the end of that game, because that's one they're going to be talking about for a long time.
Ben, you mentioned last inning about how you need to stay ready on the bench when you come up to the plate. I think a good example of that is what Nathan Scragg did. He's the number 9 hitter today, so it took some time to get him in the batter's box all the way into inning number 3. So he led off inning number 3 swinging at the first pitch, just completely ready right off the start of the third, and got on base.
Luis Jean with a count 1-1 here against Juan Benitez.
And coaches love that when players are just ready to go whenever. As the sun comes out here at Vintage Throne Stadium really quickly.
Very nice.
Like 30 seconds ago, there was no sun in our eyes, and now it's all you can see.
Sky's starting to clear to our right over on the right field side of the
we
ballpark.
talk about visibility for these outfielders. Now you've got the combination of the gray clouds plus the sun. If you're a pitcher, you might just want to go inside the strike zone and trust your defense. But it's a lot harder right now to do that.
Benitez adjusts his jersey, steps off. Now he looks in for the sign. Runner at second, that's Nathan Scragg.
And that's not a discredit to the Baycats defense at all. I mean, even the best defenses with this kind of visibility, it's really, really hard. And the Baycats have a really good defense.
That ball went screaming right over top of the Rock 95 Jumpy Castle. As the kids continue to jump around with no clue that that ball just went flying right over top into the trees. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Luis Jean. Struck out looking in the first. Benitez with the offering, and it's fouled out of play.
With the cycle yesterday, I mean, you could kind of read that Luis Jean's been seeing the ball well this season, but you can just see it today, even through 2 at-bats. He struck out the first time, but getting all these foul balls off pitches that are just barely in the strike zone, it shows how well he's seeing the ball and able to connect.
Benitez checks the runner. 1-2. And this one hit weakly to short, and it's an easy catch for Carson Burns.
Burns has a favorable angle right now with the sun coming in. He won't be able to see the sun from his angle staring in at the plate. It's more the right side that might have a bit of trouble with it, and the batter's box.
Justin Gideon, one of the IBL's most dangerous hitters.
Justin Gideon.
Singled in the first. One of 2 Cardinals stranded in that frame. First pitch swinging, and he fouls it off. Well, it's been a really interesting start to the season for the IBL defending champion London Majors. They opened on the road at Christie Pitts on Sunday last weekend. It was a 6-3 win over the Maple Leafs in a very emotional game where tribute was paid to the late Jack Dominico, the longtime owner of the Maple Leafs. Yeah. Last night's game at Labatt Park was suspended. However, they were able to receive their championship rings and had the pregame festivities and celebration for the fans to enjoy before the game eventually ended up getting suspended due to a situation with a gas leak at Labatt Park. We understand everybody was okay, but they evacuated the stadium nonetheless.
And then today, everyone was fine. That was scary to read.
And then today in Welland, they squander a 7-1 lead as Welland, with a 6-run ninth inning, pulls it off 8-7. A little bit of everything in 3 ball games for the London Majors so far this year.
And we talked about Jack Dominico in the opening day broadcast, how much he meant to baseball, and the Maple Leafs did a really good job pregame in that season opener with the tribute to him.
Yeah, they sure did. And things will never be the same down at the corner of Barton and Christie. Jack will certainly be missed. Both he and his late wife Lynn did so much for baseball, not only in Toronto, but right across the country. This one fell back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Justin Gideon. Gideon, one of the better 2-strike hitters in this league. The veteran waggles the bat. The pitch from Benitez. Swing and a miss. That will do it for the Cardinals in the top of the 3rd. They trail by a run. It's 1-0 Baycats. We go to the bottom of the 3rd here at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV.
No runs, no hits, and no errors for the Cardinals in the top of the 3rd inning here. here at Vintage Throne Stadium, we have a Junior Baycat to introduce the home half of the third inning. Junior Baycat Saturdays, brought to you by Rock 95. Here today to announce the Baycats in the bottom of the third inning. Put your hands together and make some noise for our Junior Baycat, Liam from Innisfil.
Bottom of the third inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Our third inning is brought to you by First Aid Canada, your Canadian source for first aid kits, AEDs, safety products, and more. Shop online today at firstaidcanada.com as Jake Wilson takes a called strike to lead off the bottom of the third inning.
We're talking in the break a little bit about the temperature here. It has gotten really hot. It started super cool because all the gray clouds, but now it's really clearing up. It's almost completely a blue sky over the field, and it's really warm out. It's gone from you really wish you brought a jacket to now you don't even need a jacket.
Yeah, the last temperature I saw when it was updated from Environment Canada was 15, but we're probably, I wouldn't be surprised if we're 5 degrees warmer.
It feels more like 25 now.
And good thing I brought the sunglasses. I brought sunglasses, sunblock. I did not bring a jacket, and I did not bring my bug spray.
See, I went with the jacket and no sunglasses and no sunblock because it looked like it was going to rain. So,
Yeah. You just got to bring a backpack full of everything when you come to a ball game this time of year.
we should just have a part in the broadcast booth with all this stuff all the time.
Oh, I like that. Like a little compartment that we
Yeah.
just keep all of our stuff locked
Yeah.
up. Yeah, that's a good idea. 0-2 pitch on the ground and through into right field. Jake Wilson doing Jake Wilson things. He's 2 for 2.
Got hit in the first, scored the only run so far in this game, and now on base once again. And he just gets on base at such a high percentage.
That is the voice of Liam from Innisfil, our Junior Baycat, at the mic today, giving Rob Daniels a half an inning off, which I'm sure he certainly appreciates. And a nice job by Liam announcing the Baycats here for us in the bottom of the third. We'll try to pick up his voice on the next at bat as well. Wilson on, nobody out, bottom of the third. Baycats up 1-0.
Don't be surprised if Wilson goes for a stolen base this at bat. He's got some speed.
Does not go on the 1-0, and it's a called strike. Fans really on the home plate umpire here. He's been consistent, but calling them both ways today. Wilson was 1 for 4 Thursday, 2 for 2 here today as he draws a throw. Ando pops it high in the air. That one might bring rain. Finally comes down and the first baseman takes it. Tristan Osika, 1 out. That's about as high as you can possibly hit a pop-up. If we put a drone on that ball, we probably could have got a weather report. Noel McGarry Doyle, who's 1 for 1 today. Singled in the first and then took second uncontested. That pitch up at the eyes, ball 1. McGarry Doyle hit .348 last year in 16 games for the Baycats. They're hopeful that they can get him in the lineup for a full season this year. Eleven RBIs in those 16 games. One out here in the bottom of the third inning. Turcotte to McGarry Doyle with a runner going and a check swing as McGarry Doyle protecting the plate. And Wilson will trot back to first. Seen that hit and run a couple of times already today, Patrick, by the Baycats, where they put a man in motion and give the green light to whoever's at the plate, and In that situation there, McGarry Doyle just getting a piece. Runner goes again. He takes that one. It's a strike. The throw is offline as it rolls away from the shortstop and into left field. So Wilson is at second with one away.
Officially time to take the jacket off, by the way.
I agree. Wilson at second base for the second time today. McGarry Doyle with a 1-2 count. Sam Turcotte gets the sign and the delivery. Hit hard up the middle to second base. From Anise, Gregg up with it, makes the throw. Not in time. That was a close play at first. Bang, bang play. Scragg got the throw over. A good strong throw, but not in time.
Ryan Rio mentioned last season to BarrieBaycats.com how he really liked hitting behind Jake Wilson and Noel McGarry Doyle because they both got on base almost every time for him. So a ton of RBI opportunities, and he's got those two on base right now. Don't be surprised at all if you see Noel McGarry Doyle go for second base because he's been really active on the base path so far this season, and a big RBI opportunity for Rio.
Well, already this season, that's at least two plays now that I can think of where his speed has been a factor in getting him aboard.
There have been two today where his speed has impacted him either getting aboard or moving up on the base paths.
And Ryan Rio with another RBI situation here. One out in the bottom of the third inning. Runners at the corners. There goes McGarry Doyle, and he takes second uncontested. Same thing we saw in the first inning with Jake Wilson at third. Catcher's not going to throw down, and it's a easy free base for McGarry Doyle.
Pitcher knew it was coming, catcher knew it was coming, and they couldn't do anything to stop it. Sometimes when you have a guy like that on base, you just accept that he's going to steal the base and move on with your mindset.
Well, it works well with a speedy guy like Jake Wilson if he can get to second, and then when McGarry Doyle gets on and second base is open, that's a free base for him.
Yeah, they're both so fast.
No catcher's going to throw down with Jake Wilson at third base.
True. Because by the time it gets down there, then Wilson's down at home, having stolen that base.
Unless there's two outs in the inning, but that was not the case.
I mean, even if there are two out, if McGarry Doyle is stealing, you might see Wilson go to home. If the ball's already out of the catcher's hand, go into second.
On the delayed steal, absolutely. This one hit hard. Nice play by the first baseman, Tristan Osika, but it's foul. Just outside the line, and the count is 1-2 strikes to Ryan Rio. Baycats looking to add to a 1-0 lead here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Hamilton Cardinals with their first of 3 visits, 6 games between these clubs. Here's the pitch from Turcotte, and it's high and away, ball 2. Turcotte from the stretch. At the belt, the leg kick, the 2-2, and this one is hit hard but foul. An absolute rocket, but he just sliced that one way too far to the right side, and the count holds at 2-2 strikes.
Who was it we saw in opening day hit one down left field that would have gone out?
Oh, you're right. Can't remember. Was it someone on the Leafs?
I think it was a Baycat.
2-2, swung on a miss. Got a piece, but it's into the glove of Jacob Underwood. Fourth strikeout of the afternoon for Sam Turcotte, and Brant Fianfonte will bat.
Was it Brendan Colley?
Could have been. Yeah, I don't have that on my scorebook, but I do remember.
Colley not in the lineup today. Infante playing third, Anderson playing right.
Infante 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. He was caught looking to end the threat in the first. No balls and 1 strike. Turcotte to Infante. On the ground foul, left side. To Hopper, glove by Andrew White. Thought about tossing it away and then just decided to put it in his pocket. He'll bring that back himself later. Wilson at third, McGarry Doyle at second. Baycats up by a run, looking to add more. 2 out here in the bottom of the third. Pitch from Turcotte. And this one hit to left field down the line and foul. Rolls over to the Hamilton bullpen. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Big pitch coming up here from Sam Turcotte, and a 1-run Barrie lead. Shakes off the first sign. Now he gets the one he wants. Infante wiggles the bat. 0-2 pitch. Down the line, and it's rolling just foul. They waited until the absolute last minute. Infante, good job hustling down that line just in case.
The angle we're at, it looked like it was going to be foul a lot before it was actually called foul.
He outran the ball. If that had stayed fair, he would have been easily safe. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Infante with a .325 average last year for the Baycats. Sam Turcotte in his IBL debut here this afternoon has surrendered just 1 run. He's allowed 5 hits in 2 2/3. Comes set and the pitch. It's hit to center field. Gideon has it, and that will do it for the Cardinals as they're off the field here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So crisis averted as the Baycats strand a pair. And after 3 at Vintage Throne Stadium, it's 1-0 Baycats. You're watching Baycats TV.
No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Cardinals in the 3rd inning. For the Baycats in the 3rd.
BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news. We head to the top of the 4th inning at Vintage Throne Stadium. Hamilton Cardinals coming to bat, trailing by a run with Patrick Melbourne. I'm Ben Davy. Nice to have our Hamilton viewers enjoying the game today as well on Baycats TV. Thanks for finding us on YouTube this afternoon. Juan Benitez back out to work the 4th, and he'll face Tyler Duncan, Lane Renault, and Anthony Buonaiuto. And a called strike to start off Duncan, who's 1 for 1 today. Patrick, it sounded like from your post-game interview on Thursday with the skipper of the Baycats, Josh Matlow, that the plan, as this one's hit foul down the first base line, is to get Juan out there for as many innings as possible, maybe 5 or 6 today, and then the 7, 8, 9 seems to be pretty much set. The plan would be Hillier, Cox, and Grieveson to close out the ball game if the Baycats can get that lead through the first 2/3.
Yeah, you wonder, it's only 2 days rest, so you wonder if it could be a couple of other guys as well. Evan Souls could be in the mix. You might see Russell again. but between Russell, Souls, Hillier, Cox, and Grieveson, they've definitely got a bullpen that they really, really like. And then they've got some guys on top of that, both who are new this season and returning from last season. It's a good setup, and they're very happy with it.
Aiden Russell did a really great job in kind of that bridge role from Jason Aquino to what Josh Matlow calls the back three. This one off the glove of Rio, and it's into right field. They'll give Duncan a hit on that, and it's the 4th hit of the afternoon for the Hamilton Cardinals.
Second hit for Duncan.
And DH Lane Renault will bat. He struck out swinging to end the first.
The designated hitter, number 6, Lane Renault.
Benitez has been pretty efficient with his pitches this afternoon. Not a lot of deep counts today so far. Duncan with the lead. He does not go. The first offering to Lane Renault is outside a ball.
Renault 1 for 5 yesterday with an RBI and a run. The one big thing that does jump out from a score that was 11-1 is almost everybody in the batting order did strike out at least once.
That one's over the trees and out of play, a ball and a strike.
So if you're the Baycats, that's the one thing you can look at and say, okay, we can work with this.
Well, the Cardinals were certainly not an offensive powerhouse last year. Some of their losses were close, but most of them were low-scoring games. Only Brantford scored fewer runs than Hamilton last year. But certainly they have to be encouraged by what they did see in Brantford yesterday.
Oh, absolutely. And that can change a whole season. Getting that momentum going early in the clubhouse and the confidence up.
Now, sometimes it can take a few games to really get the bats heated up.
And you know what happens when you get the confidence up?
Runner goes, and that one is dropped by Plumpton. Unable to get the throw off. And Duncan is at second base.
What happens when you get the confidence up early in the season and you get the team going is you start winning games that you'd otherwise lose. Small things start to go right. Things that some people would say are lucky start happening. It's not luck, it's confidence, and it's the team working together and building chemistry and just working. And those things start to go right if you get a good thing going early.
Right field. And it's fouled, out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Getting a lead early is always a key as well, too, and certainly you can get to the team's starter early in the ball game, get into the bullpen a little bit. That's where you can really build yourself a lead and give your team a good chance to win. And that was the case yesterday in Brantford with the Cardinals wasting no time, building a 3-run lead after an inning and then a couple more in the third. A high pop-up over by the Cardinal dugout. Everybody looking at that one, and it's over the dugout and out of play. No runs, 4 hits for the Cardinals. 1 run, 5 hits for the Baycats. 1-0 Barrie. Here in this top of the 4th inning, Juan Benitez making his 2022 debut. Gets the sign, comes set. 2-2 on the way. Fouled again.
Nice at bat, building up here for Lane Renault.
Renault hit a solo homer, his first of the year last night against the Red Sox.
As the at-bat goes on, you start to become more familiar with the pitcher, and as the pitcher starts throwing more pitches, the higher the likelihood is that you'll either see one again that you saw before and guess right, or he'll be more careless as the at-bat goes on.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Renault.
Except we're dealing with Juan Benitez, who is really, really good, and sometimes he gets stronger with an at-bat as it goes on.
I think Renault was looking for the fastball there.
I think you're right.
And it brings Anthony Buonaiuto to the plate.
But in all seriousness, the quality of the pitcher is something that's not really a factor when at-bats go that long, because as it goes on more and more, it starts to become a very individual at-bat thing, and any pitcher can look really strong, or any batter can look really strong as an at-bat goes on.
4 strikeouts for Juan Benitez today. He has not walked anybody. Benitez struck out 46 last year in 62 innings of work, walked just 21. And another foul, and it's 0-2 to Anthony Buonaiuto. Our fourth inning for Centerfield Foods, feeding fans and families at the Barrie Community Sports Complex since 2005. 0-2 as Benitez wastes one away, and the count is 1-2 as Buonaiuto does not chase that one. Tyler Giancos, the third baseman, is on deck. First base side, foul. Count holds at 1-2. Runner at second, one out here. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Juan Benitez to Anthony Buonaiuto. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for the Dominican right-hander, and there's two away.
So far, this is one of the strong settings we've seen from Juan Benitez, just because all of his pitches are really working. He's getting that swing and miss. But he's also generating weak contact, a bunch of infield ground outs.
The third baseman, number 16,
short pop outs. So
Tyler
he's looked really good on the mound.
Yeah, the Cardinals seem to be fouling off a lot of pitches, but they're not getting ahead in the counts. And Benitez, again, has not surrendered any walks today. This one down the line, it's going to probably stay fair. Oh, no, it's foul. Wow.
Big cheering from the Baycats dugout when that happened.
I don't know if there's a little slope down there right in front of the bag or what, but that's certainly one of the more unusual balls we've seen hit down the third base line. The grounds crew, I'm sure, raked that one just perfectly for that play. Oh, what is in the dirt?
Joe Braden and his crew.
That's a hard one. I mean, you really can't anticipate it. I mean, a situation like that, once you decide you're going to let it roll, that's all you can do is wait it out.
Focus on this so often throughout the year that you mentioned the grounds crew. It is Joe Braden's crew, and they do such a great job getting this field ready to go.
They do.
Just want to give him and everybody there a shout out. Fantastic job once again.
Well,
getting everything ready.
The other tricky thing too is not just the dirt; it's the spin that's on the ball as it's going down that line, and tough for an infielder to get a read on that.
Yeah, that play specifically, that could happen on any playing surface.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Tyler Giancos. Pitch from Benitez. Called strike 3. Giancos frozen. Benitez gets the inside corner, and that will do it for the Cardinals in the top of the fourth. We go to the bottom of the inning with the Baycats up by a run. You're watching Baycats TV.
No runs, 1 hit, and no errors in the fourth inning for the Hamilton Cardinals. Got to say congratulations to 2 junior Baycat winners this afternoon, Paige Shanahan and Caden Thompson. Winners of select prizes here at the ballpark, and they can be picked up by the front entrance at Vintage Road Stadium here this afternoon. We have a birthday announcement this afternoon. A happy 35th birthday going out to Stephanie at Vintage Road Stadium, celebrating her birthday here at the ballpark. The fourth inning is brought to you by Centerfield Foods. Centerfield Foods feeding fans and families at the Barrie Community Sports Complex since 2005.
With Patrick Melbourne, I'm Ben Davy. We're in the bottom of the fourth here at Vintage Throne Stadium. The Baycats looking to follow up their home opening win on Thursday night here with a victory this afternoon. They lead 1-0 over the visiting Hamilton Cardinals. It'll be Michael Cicchetto, Tyler Lupton, and James Anderson due up for Barrie against right-hander Sam Turcotte.
The designated hitter, number 5, Mike Cicchetto.
So I have a baseball question for you.
Okay.
So usually when we see 3 strikeouts in an inning, it's striking out the side, and it's simple enough. But in that last half inning, Benitez struck out 3 after giving it up a hit.
Correct.
So Ben, is that striking out the side in your mind?
I've always called that striking out the side because you got the 3 outs came via a strikeout. So do you have the correct
No, I don't think
definition or
there is a
terminology
correct
of that?
one.
Or
I don't think there is a correct one. I think it's individual opinion.
it's up to interpretation.
Yeah, and I don't have a strong feeling on it, to be honest. But I was curious to see if you did. A little disappointed that you don't.
Well, when I was first learning about baseball, true story, I thought striking out the side meant that you struck out each batter at some point, all 9 guys, because that's the side, right?
Yeah.
That would be the side, the lineup, all 9 of them. So I thought once you'd struck each one of those at once, that was striking the side out. And then I learned otherwise. Called strike 3 to Mike Cicchetto. Back to the dugout he goes. Second strikeout this afternoon for the DH. Well, that might make a good conversation for our social media feeds.
Yeah, hashtag RollCats if you have an
The
opinion.
catcher, number 44, Tyler Lupton.
Striking out the side, does it have to be 3 in a row, or can there be a base hit in between there somewhere?
And you can use the hashtag RollCats all season long on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Our Facebook is at IBL Barrie Baycats. Our Twitter is at IBL Baycats. Our Instagram at Barrie Baycats. Let us know your thoughts.
I think there was a game this year, was it Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, where the Pirates won without getting a hit off of the Reds? That's what kind of year it's been for Cincinnati this year. But that doesn't happen too often. I remember it did happen with the Yankees and the White Sox a couple of decades ago, but
doesn't happen very often.
Tyler Lupton 0 for 1 today. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Ball dropped by the catcher. Underwood will have to make the throw. It's high, but gloved by Tristan Osika. 2 down. Back-to-back strikeouts here for Sam Turcotte, who's retired 4 in a row.
And this game has seen 5 strikeouts in a row between Benitez and Turcotte.
James Anderson.
Sam Turcotte has strikeouts in every inning. 6 in total. And no walks. So both of these pitchers really doing a nice job with the strikeout to walk ratio today. Benitez 6 strikeouts, no walks. Turcotte now 6 strikeouts, no walks. James Anderson with a single in the second inning. Anderson in right field today. Also takes catching duties from time to time for Josh Matlow. These teams will square off once more before the end of the month. That's Sunday the 29th. Next weekend in Hamilton at 2 o'clock. Baycats will visit the Cardinals for the first time in 2022. "42-game schedule this year for the IBL teams with 7 opponents. Each team getting to face each other a total of 6 times, over 5 from last season, so another balanced schedule. 1-2, and that one misses low.
And the reaction to the longer schedule seemed to be a really positive one across social media.
That one fell back off the top of the screen. Well, it creates fairness for everybody. I mean, that was always the one criticism you know, with the schedule sort of favored your geographic rivals in years past, with the schedule not really being balanced, you know, hypothetically, a team could have an easier schedule than somebody else, depending on who your opponents ended up being. This one hit on the ground to Luis Jean. Throw across in time for the out. And that is the first 3-up, 3-down inning for Sam Turcotte and the Hamilton Cardinals. We're through 4. It's still 1-0 Barrie. You're watching Baycats TV.
No hits, no runs, and no errors for the Baycats at the end of the 4th inning.
I can do the...
The Canadian Brewhouse is a one-of-a-kind Canadian-themed sports bar. Stop by and enjoy live sports action and an extensive menu with amazing food and drink specials. Just off the 400 at Park Place in Barrie. Join the Canadian Brewhouse after the game.
Fifth inning here on Baycats TV is brought to you by Ital Paving. Ital Paving for all your residential, commercial, and industrial paving needs, providing quality service for over 37 years because you deserve the best.
1 run, 4 hits for the Baycats. They've stranded 4. No runs, 3 hits for the Cardinals. They've stranded 3. And it's Juan Benitez to face Jacob Underwood, Nathan Scragg, and Tristan Osika for the Hamilton Cardinals here on the top of the 5th inning. Underwood 0 for 1 this afternoon. Benitez has struck out 3 in a row, 6 of the game, and streak will come to an end here. A routine ground ball to second baseman Royce Ando, and there's 1 away. 6 strikeouts, no walks for Benitez so far in his 2022 debut.
Second baseman, number 31, Nathan Scragg.
Both bullpens quiet. The starters getting it done here today. Showing bunt and getting it down is Scragg. Benitez, the quick throw over. It's in time for the out. Juan Benitez, one of the better defensive fielding pitchers in the league, makes a good, strong throw.
And that's so huge for all of your infielders' mindsets. When they see that the pitcher can field that well, they take a deep breath and they go like, okay, I don't need to get every single one that comes out here. Benitez has looked really, really good today.
The first baseman, number 22, Tristan Osika.
Not a bad idea for the Cardinals. They have just 4 hits this afternoon. Let's try to get something going here off Juan Benitez in this bottom of the 5th inning. Tristan Osika, a ground out and a sacrifice so far today. 1-0 from Benitez. Swung on a miss, got a piece of it, fouling it off on the curveball. Osika played 18 games for the Cardinals last year, put together a .357 average. Second highest on the Cardinals, 25 hits. One ball, 1 strike to the first baseman. Pitch from Benitez. Little flare over behind third base, and it bounces over on the dirt over towards the fence, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's foul back to the screen, and the count holds at 1-2. Pitch on the way from Juan Benitez, and another foul ball. Cardinals doing a good job with 2 strikes.
Yeah, they are. They're really bringing at-bats out and making them really long. Bring the pitch count up.
Even with 6 strikeouts so far this afternoon, they haven't made any of them easy for Juan Benitez. This one on the ground to second. Slow roller. Ando with time. Makes the throw across. And the Cardinals go 3 up, 3 down for the second time this afternoon. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. Juan Benitez and the Barrie Baycats up 1-0 over the Hamilton Cardinals. You're watching Baycats TV.
Cardinals in the 5th inning. Got another special birthday shout out this afternoon going out to Madison, who turns 11 years young, celebrating on this Junior Baycats Saturday, the first one of the season at Vintage Throne Stadium. Happy birthday, Madison. Hey, fans, want to let you know that if Baycats pitchers strike out 5 or more opposing hitters in any home game this season, each fan will receive a coupon on the way out of the stadium for 5 free wings, courtesy of Buffalo Wild Wings, located at 139 Park Place Boulevard in the Park Place Plaza. We also do have a couple representatives going through the crowd today, selling 50-50 tickets. It's $2 for 3 tickets and $5 for 9 tickets. The draw taking place in the 7th inning this afternoon. Make sure to get yours for a chance at winning a big cash prize. Leading off the 5th for the Baycats, the shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns.
Carson Burns to lead it off for the Baycats, bottom of the 5th inning. 1-0 Barrie, and Burns swings at the first offering, strike 1. Burns 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. And then back to the top of the order for Jake Wilson and Royce Ando to follow. Lots of sunshine now at Vintage Throne Stadium. Fans able to take the jackets off and soak up the rays here for a little bit at least. We had cloud cover at the start of the game.
Doesn't really look like it's coming back either.
A high pop-up in the outfield. Left fielder over for that. Anthony Buonaiuto takes it for the out. Burns down for the second time today, and Jake Wilson, the center fielder, who's 2 for 2, comes up.
The center fielder, number 15, Jake Wilson.
Wilson has 2 of Barrie's 5 hits today, and he pops this one up behind the bag at third. Giancos over, battling the side, and he can't make the catch. Well, Giancos had a good read on it and then just, I guess, lost it at the last second, had to reach back, couldn't come up with the catch. He was in the right spot.
And he'd have been looking directly into the sun, Ben.
Very difficult angle at this hour. And a second life for Jake Wilson. Let's see what he can do here. Sam Turcotte with the pitch. Wilson showing bunt, and he bunts it over the screen and off the stands here.
Well, you won't see him bunt for this pitch, because if he bunts and it goes foul, he's out. So he's going to have to regroup and
you don't see a lot of
full
two-strike
swing.
bunts, but I always love seeing them when they happen because it's just such a gutsy move. 0-2 to Wilson. Checks his swing, and it's in the dirt. Tag applied anyway. Did he go? They say no.
Yeah, I think that was the right call from our angle.
If you haven't been to Vintage Throne Stadium this season, we got a pair of games next week for you. The Guelph Royals, who make their return tomorrow in Hamilton on the road, will come to Barrie Thursday night, 7:30. Patrick and I will be here for the game. And then we got the London Majors, the defending 2021 champions, here at 4 o'clock 1 week from today. So we hope you can come on out and join us. If you don't watch us on Baycats TV, come and experience it firsthand for yourself. This one on the ground to second. Nice play by Nathan Scragg over to first in time for the out. 2 down. Well, they had shifted on Wilson just a little bit there, and Scragg was over to his left just far enough to make that an easy play.
Number 7, Royce Ando.
And Royce Ando will come to the plate for the third time this afternoon. First pitch swinging, and it's another pop-up. This one over on the first base side, and it's out of the reach of Tristan Osika.
Seeing a lot of pop-ups today. We didn't really see very many in the opener.
A pitch from Turcotte. And that one gets through the shortstop and into left field. Turcotte had retired 7 in a row prior to that single by Royce Ando. And there's 2 out for Noel McGarry-Doyle.
McGarry-Doyle had got the last hit.
Noel McGarry-Doyle.
Off of Turcotte before that one. Both pitchers really settling into a groove as we go deeper into this ball game.
Turcotte's pitch. First pitch swinging is McGarry-Doyle. Hits it deep to left field, and that one is going to drop. Anthony Buonito unable to come up with the catch. They're going to send Royce Ando home. The throw is cut off, and the Baycats lead 2-0. Great base running by Ando, who was in motion and had that one, had the afterburners on.
Ryan Rio.
It's an RBI double from McGarry-Doyle, and Ando scores Barry's second run.
Any field, Ryan. Come on now, any field.
As the pitch count comes up, this is going to be a great opportunity for Rio, again with a runner in scoring position. And McGarry-Doyle might be a stealing threat once again.
Called strike to Ryan Rio.
Would you be surprised at all to see McGarry-Doyle go for third base?
No, I would not.
I don't think anybody in this stadium would be.
He's got a lead. Turcotte takes a look, comes home, and it's low and in the dirt. Mentioned the Guelph Royals will be here on Thursday night, and that'll be their third consecutive road game after today's scheduled home opener was canceled due to inclement weather against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Hamilton will get a look at the Royals tomorrow afternoon, and then they're in London on the holiday Monday, and then Barrie on Thursday. So the Royals are going to have to wait until Saturday next weekend. That'll be the 28th when Brantford comes to David E. Hastings Stadium. And Royals fans will finally get a chance to welcome their team back to the field after 3 road games for the Guelph Royals this week. I wonder if some Guelph Royal fans will be logging some miles traveling to see their team play a little bit on the road. That's a long wait for your home opener.
Sure is.
Especially for a team that's been out of the league for 2 years. A called strike makes it 2-2 to Rio. We might see some Royals fans here on Thursday night. They seem to travel with their team pretty well. Turcotte wants Underwood to run through the signals again. Now he comes set. Big pitch here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the count is full. Noel McGarry-Doyle at second base. Baycats up 2-0 here, looking for more in the bottom of the 5th inning. Ryan Rio at the plate. Sam Turcotte with the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Second strikeout of the game for Ryan Rio. McGarry-Doyle stranded at second, but the Baycats add a run, and it's 2-0 Barrie after 5. You're watching Baycats TV.
One run on 2 hits and no errors for the Baycats in the home half of the 5th inning.
I'm Christina De Palma, and whether you're looking for help with small claims court, a problem with your tenant, a traffic ticket, a notary, or looking for mediation, De Palma & Associate Legal Services can help. Know the rules, know your rights, solid advice.
Top of the 6th inning is brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. Our house is your house. Getting set here, Juan Benitez on the mound here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Patrick Melbourne, Ben Davy with you.
The shortstop, number 43, Luis Jean.
Righty will be facing off against the right-hander Luis Jean. And he kicks and throws. Swinging a ground ball left side, goes to the dugout, well foul.
Well, Jean, we'd love to just start the inning off here with getting himself on base after that incredible evening last night, hitting for the cycle against the Brantford Red Sox. He's 0 for 2 so far.
Defense playing mostly normally as Jean pops one up. It's going to be Burns moving over, Ando as well. He calls off Burns and he makes the catch running into the infield. So there's one quick out here in the top of the 6th.
Nice job by Benitez, just getting out of the way as the pitcher should do. Running over to the first base side, making sure the middle infielder's got a good look at that, and Rice Ando was able to make the easy catch.
So here's Justin Gideon. Cardinals wearing their bright red uniforms, Baycats wearing their home whites. Kicks and throws showing bunt, and he pulls it back. Ball's low, ball 1.
Gideon to me is the go-to guy on this team, Patrick. He can get a rally started for you. Certainly he's always dangerous with runners on. That's why I like him in that number 3 spot with Osika and Jean ahead of him.
Here's a pitch from Benitez, and it's hit on the ground, first base side, and that one's going to get through for a base hit. Gideon rounding first. He's going to head to second. Throw is late from right field. James Anderson gets a little bit by Carson Burns, but it's going to be a double for Justin Gideon with 1 out.
Well, like I said, Justin Gideon is just a complete ball player, a pure hitter.
The right fielder, number 55, Tyler Duncan.
And he drove that ball down the line, head down. And he was thinking double all the way. He gets himself into scoring position here with 1 out. This is a key base runner here for the Cardinals. Just looking to get on the board while it's still only 2-0.
And that's the first base runner for the Cardinals since Tyler Duncan in the 4th. Duncan up now once again, lefty against the righty pitcher. Runner Gideon taking the lead off second, not a huge one. Pitch from Benitez is just outside.
Riley Hoover doing some tossing in the Baycat bullpen, Patrick, so we'll see with Benitez how long Matt Lowe decides to go with them here. He's been solid this afternoon. 6 strikeouts, no walks.
And we were talking about that 7-8-9 in the bullpen with Hillier, Cox, and Grieveson, as that one's popped up to the left side. Noel McGarry-Doyle giving chase. He makes the catch in foul territory, throws the ball in. Gideon moves from second to third as Burns fields it right near the edge of the dirt. So it ends up a sacrifice fly in foul ground in left field for Tyler Gideon, 2 away.
Well, that was a tough catch for Noel McGarry-Doyle. Even though the sun was behind him, he was running the opposite direction, but paced his run perfectly. Sometimes there can be a tendency to overrun those balls that hang up a little bit longer than you might expect. But McGarry-Doyle took a perfect route to it and just timed that catch perfectly in foul territory.
So here's Lane Renault. First pitch to him is way up and in. And he'll need a second just to refocus. We were talking about the 7-8-9, Hillier, Cox, Grieveson. Josh Matlow, the manager, also mentioned that he might get some of the younger guys in earlier into games. We saw Russell yesterday. Could also see Evan Souls or Riley Hoover. Kicks and throws. And that one is hit really high on the right side. Moving over is the center fielder Jake Wilson. He makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. So a double, but nothing more. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Still Baycats 2, Cardinals nothing. You're watching Baycats TV and the Barrie Baycats on Rogers TV, Cable 10.
There's also 62 in the bullpen for Barrie.
Okay, thank you. Aiden Russell. Okay, thanks.
For the Cardinals in the 6th inning. Got some giveaways, fans. Inning prizes to give away here. Inning prizes. Get your ticket numbers out. Up for grabs first, a food voucher, burgers, fries, and a pop here at the ballpark. Winning ticket number is 843-5231. Once again, a food voucher for burger, fries, and a pop. The winning number, 843-5231. Hardwood bike trail pass for 2. That goes to the winning ticket number 843-5192. We have a 107.5 Cool FM shower radio up for grabs, and that goes to ticket number 843-5228. Once again, a 107.5 Cool FM shower radio going to ticket number 843-5228. Please claim your prizes at the Baycats tent, the front entrance of Vintage Storm Stadium.
Fans, Baycats Shop is your one-stop shop for all things Baycats. From jerseys, hoodies, t-shirts, hats, and fan gear, Baycats Shop has it all. Visit shopbaycats.com today or follow on Instagram at shopbaycats. Patrick Melbourne, Ben Davy with you. Brian Backlund, our broadcast producer. Gary Mason, our statistician, both doing a great job in the production room.
And a pitching change for the Cardinals as Gabe Braun, brother of Ben Braun, will come on in relief of Sam Turcotte, who worked 5 very strong innings today for the Cardinals, did all he could to keep his team in this game, surrendering just a pair of runs on 7 hits, struck out 7, and issued no walks. So he is the pitcher of record for the loss, but really a strong start for Sam Turcotte's IBL career here this afternoon.
You can't ask for too much more if you're on that coaching staff for the Hamilton Cardinals. So Gabe Braun ready on the mound. Brant Fianfonte ready at the plate. It's righty-righty as we get set here for the bottom of the 6th inning. Long pause, now delivers, and it's up and in.
Braun, a 21-year-old native originally from Georgetown, stands 6 feet even, 175 pounds. And his rookie season last year with the Cardinals, he was 1-1 with a 5.5 ERA.
2-0 Barrie in the bottom of the 6th. Count 1-0. Next pitch is popped up way foul behind the plate. Sun now toward the right field area. All the clouds above the field have completely disappeared. Bright blue sky. Infante waiting. Long time between pitches from Gabe Braun. Now delivers, and it's in the dirt. So the count goes 2-0. Looks like a righty is getting loose in the Baycats bullpen now. So that is not Riley Hoover, who's a lefty.
We had Hoover throwing earlier, and I think Aiden Russell
Swing and a miss, 2-1.
may have been getting some tosses in earlier as well.
We look over at the Cardinals bullpen as well. Nothing happening over there. So it's going to be Gabe Braun for at least this inning, maybe more.
31's getting ready. On our side, looks like. Look at your screen. 31 or 34.
Ground ball left side, and that one is going to get through for a base hit. Branfy Infante leads off the sixth with a single.
Pinch hitting for the Baycats, number 55, Dominico Maria.
So now we get to see one of the new Baycats for the first time this season. Pinch hitting for Mike Chiquetto is Dominico Maria, first baseman in his first season with the Baycats. One of the big new guys this offseason. We've already seen Brendan Cawley on opening day. Maria's one of the other big additions announced in the offseason. Can play first base. Baycats really like what he brings both offensively and defensively. We saw him during the media day. That's inside and low. 1-0.
Chiquetto had gone 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts.
So with Adam Odd day-to-day right now, Baycats seeing what they have in a couple of their other options at first base. Rio has played first base over the first 2 games, so this is the DH spot. Throw over to first, Infante back in time. So they're seeing what they have at the plate from their other first baseman, Chiquetto, and now Maria. Lefty hitter against the righty pitcher. Gabe Braun looks for the sign. He's got it, kicks and throws, and it's way up and outside, and it's 2-0 again.
Gabe Braun found himself in a very unique situation on July 30th last year, Patrick, and I'm sure a memorable game for him. He came on and worked an inning and 2/3 of relief for his brother, Ben Braun, who started the game and worked 7 1/3, and that game was against Barrie on July 30th in Hamilton, and Cardinals cruised to a 9-1 win that night.
2-0 is hit to right field, really high and really far and really foul. So Maria got one he liked, and it just went foul on the right side. Good first impression in front of the Barrie fans. Where's number 55 on his jersey? Count is 2-1. Throw over to first. Second one of the at-bat, and Infante is back in time. Here we go. 2-1. Runner doesn't go. He faked like he was going there for a moment. And it's 3-1.
Infante really trying to get in Braun's head here, keeping him guessing.
Count 3-1. Tyler Plumpton is on deck.
If you're Braun, just want to focus on the guy at the plate. That's Dominic Maria.
3-1. Way up and outside, and Dominico Maria's first at-bat as a Barrie Baycat is a walk.
And that is the Baycats' first walk of the afternoon.
So here's Plumpton. He was the hero in last night's ball game. Hoping for a big hit
The catcher, number 44,
in the 6th
Tyler
here with 2 on and
Duncan.
nobody out. It'll be Plumpton and then James Anderson on deck. Plumpton, right-handed hitter, does not wear batting gloves. Shows bunt, and he gets it down right in front of the home plate, and it'll go foul.
Well, Plumpton, one of those old school guys. Loves that skin on wood, and laying down a bunt there. He's definitely a guy you can count on to execute whatever the situation may call for. Not a bad idea. Nobody out here. Try to get those runners over 90 feet in a low-scoring game.
So Infante is heading back to second, and Maria late heading back to first. You're not over to second base yet. Might get there, but not quite yet. Branfi Infante on second, Dominico Maria on first. Here's Tyler Plumpton at the plate. Count 0-1 against the pitcher Gabe Braun. It's a 2-0 game. And Plumpton showing bunt again. Pulls it back, and that is just outside the strike zone, 1-1.
Great take by the veteran. Was showing bunt all the way.
Braun adjusts his cap, now stands back on the mound, stares in, gets into a bit of a crouch with the ball in his right hand, behind his back, just under the numbers. Now back standing up, kicks and throws. Plumpton shows bunt again, but it's way high, so he pulls it back.
No surprise that Gabe Braun working high in the zone. He has seen Plumpton square 3 times now to bunt, and that one buzzing him high and in.
So 3 bunt shown there, and it's 2-1. So might see it again here. Trying to advance those runners. The runner on second is Infante, runner on first Maria. Infante goes, Plumpton hits that one to the shortstop side. Gonna go past everybody and go to the outfield. It drops in between the left and center fielders, and the bases are loaded now with Baycats in the 6th.
Yeah, very tough play for the runners. Infante at second and Maria at first. They played that perfectly on the bases, going halfway, and once that ball dropped, they were able to safely get themselves ahead 90 feet. That's really all you can do in a situation like that with nobody out in the inning. Much different situation than with 2 outs when you're able to get the wheels going and able to take a little bit more than just 1 base.
And now Dominico Maria gets to stand on second base for real this time. So a meeting on the mounds, the whole infield coming in. Give us a chance to talk again about the Junior Baycats days. There's one of them happening right now. All of the Saturday afternoon home games that start at 4 p.m. this season are Junior Baycats days, with the support and partnership of Rock 95, Cool FM, Barrie 360, Moonwalk Entertainment, and Dream Parties. Family fun will be taken to a whole new level. And we've got a really good crowd here today on this Saturday 4 p.m. home game. Started out really kind of rainy and cool. We didn't know what kind of day we would get, but it's turned into a really nice one. Got hot there for a while, but now it's got a nice breeze. Everything really turning out well for this afternoon of baseball.
9th hit of the afternoon for the Baycats, so no error on that tricky pop-up that dropped for a hit. So Plumpton at first, Maria at second, and Infante at third. The bases are loaded. No place to put James Anderson, and nobody out in the inning.
So here is Anderson, bases loaded. Still nobody out here in the 6th against the new pitcher Gabe Braun, who began this inning. There's a ground ball to short, could be 2. They're going to go home, and Infante's out, but that's all they'll get. So they get the lead runner Infante for the first out, but the bases remain loaded.
You know, I really like that play in a low-scoring game, 2-0. Base is still loaded, yes, but you know, you can try the double play, but give up a run. Suddenly it's 3-0, a little bit tougher to come back, but a nice heads-up play by the shortstop, and the catcher was ready.
So here's Burns. It'll be Carson Burns, and then the top of the order with Jake Wilson. Still only 1 out with the bases loaded.
So now you can get the ground ball double play and get the defense off the field without giving up anything, and that's the thinking. With nobody out and the bases loaded, just getting that 1 out at home plate, try to keep this a 2-run ball game.
New pitcher coming in for the Hamilton Cardinals. So Gabe Braun's day is done. We'll step aside for just a moment, and when we come back, new pitcher for Hamilton. You're watching Baycats TV. New pitcher in for the Hamilton Cardinals as we're in the bottom of the sixth with the bases loaded and only one out. Gabe Braun started the inning, but is not going to continue within it. New pitcher is Drew Mainprize, left-hander. He'll be facing off against Carson Burns, Jake Wilson, and then Royce Ando as the scheduled 3 to bat. It'll be Dom Maria on third base, Tyler Plumpton on second, and James Anderson on first. Mainprize just finishing up his warm-up pitches. Infield still in a meeting behind him.
Mainprize saw action in just 5 games last year, and they were all for the Brantford Red Sox, so this is his debut with the Hamilton Cardinals, native of nearby Ancaster. Last year for the Red Sox, went 0-1 in 4 relief appearances, ERA of 13.5. He struck out 4 and he walked 3.
Yesterday for Hamilton, Ben Braun went 6 innings, as Ben mentioned earlier. Did really well, struck out 5, only gave up 2 hits, and then it was Godjic and Stefan Strecker. So we're seeing season debuts for different Cardinals pitchers today. First the starter, Sam Turcotte, and then Gabe Braun, and now Drew Mainprize. So face-off against the lefty Carson Burns. Lefty-lefty matchup. That's why Mainprize is the one being brought in right now. Hoping that the lefty-righty advantage will help out Hamilton. That's what they want.
Giancos is in on the grass just about 1 step.
First pitch is popped up. Moving in is Osaka. It'll be Tristan Osaka to make the play, so 2 outs now. And it's a 1-pitch out for Drew Mainprize as they get the lefty-lefty matchup they want.
Well, that is the next best situation to a ground ball. Certainly a pop-up creates a 2-out situation now, and the defense can go back to their normal alignment with the leadoff man Jake Wilson coming up. Still have to be careful, but certainly a much more comfortable situation with 2 away.
Except for the fact that Jake Wilson gets on base an awful lot. Wilson's been on base twice today already. 2 for 3, 2 hits and a ground out. Here's the pitch, and that is just low. Count 1-0 to Wilson.
Well, this is the at-bat of the ball game right here. 2 so far, at least 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. And a chance for Barrie to add to this 2-0 lead if you're Hamilton. 1 out away from averting a crisis.
Here's the pitch from lefty Drew Mainprize, and it is in there for a strike, 1-1. Center fielder playing a little closer to right field than straight away center. Otherwise, defense mostly normal. Shortstop playing close to second base. Here's the pitch, and that one's hit to left field, and that is caught in left field. A nice play going to his knees by Boyanuto, and that'll end the inning. So the Baycats load the bases, but leave them loaded. It is still 2-0 as we head to the 7th inning. You're watching the Barrie Baycats and the Hamilton Cardinals on Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for the Cardinals. For the Baycats in the 6th inning.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
Seventh inning brought to you by Firehouse Subs Barrie and Aurelia. Only top quality freshly sliced meats and cheeses piled high on toasty hot rolls. Buy subs, save lives. Anthony Buoniuto stands in. Made a great catch to finish off the bottom of the sixth. And now tries to help his team at the plate against Juan Benitez, who's looked really, really good today, Ben. One of the better starts we've seen from Benitez in his time in a Baycats uniform. Yeah, just 5 Hamilton hits so far this afternoon. Josh Matlow seeing if he can get at least one more out of him before going to the bullpen, but he has done all that certainly could ask for today. Kicks and throws, and another foul ball in pretty much the same place. And again, what a job by Drew Mainprice coming in. High pressure situation, bases loaded, 1 out. He gets a pop-up off the bat of Carson Burns, and then a fly ball off Jake Wilson's bat to get the Cardinals off the field. That's a ball, 1-2. That was Barrie's opportunity to build a good, strong lead here in this ball game, and they were unable to get it done. They led 1-0 through 8 innings in the opener. Ended up winning that game 2-1. It's 2-0 in their second game of the season. As we sit here in the top of the 7th. I can't deal with it now. Buoniuto at the plate, facing off against Benitez. That is hit to the right side, and it is caught in right field by James Anderson. What a play by Anderson. Read that ball perfectly off the bat and made the nice catch, 1 away. First start of the season for Anderson. He was a pinch runner and scored the winning run here on Thursday night, and he makes a highlight reel grab, diving to his left for the first out here in the 7th inning. Buoniuto now 0 for 3. And now here's Tyler Giancos. Stands in with 1 out. Pitch from the righty Benitez is up and in. Quick look at our out-of-town scoreboard once again. If you missed it earlier, the Welland Jackfish scored 6 runs in the bottom of the 9th against the London Majors to upset the defending IBL champs 8-7 in Welland this afternoon. The other game, Guelph and Toronto, that was canceled due to inclement weather in the Royal City this afturnoon. To be sure we're worried that the weather would impact this one, it has not. That is popped up right over our heads.
You gotta turn it off?
Right over our heads. Look at that.
Turn off both pieces?
And about
Turn off both, turn it back on, see if I can get rid of it. Probably won't.
the whole Junior Baycats crowd going after that ball. Here's a pitch from Benitez again. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Should be gone.
Josh Matlow speaking so highly of Tyler Plumpton's defense after the game a couple of nights ago. That is popped to third base. Moving over is Infante. He's going to make the catch in front of Carson Burns and Noel McGarry Doyle. So 2 outs here in the 7th.
Barrie bullpen quiet right now, but Benitez has retired 4 in a row. Yielded a double in the 6th inning, but was able to get out of that potential threat for the Cardinals.
So here's the catcher, Jacob Underwood. 0 for 2 so far. Benitez working quickly. First pitch down and in.
Always love seeing a starter, a manager show confidence in a starter, and especially someone like Juan Benitez who can give you those innings. If he's rolling along, why not leave him out there? There's a ground ball. Burns is going to get there, backing up. Infante throws onto first, and that will retire the side. 7 strong innings for Juan Benitez. What a performance by the Baycats starter today. We head to the bottom of the 7th. It is still Baycats 2, Hamilton nothing. You're watching the Barrie Baycats and the Hamilton Cardinals on Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
No runs, no hits, and no errors for the Cardinals in the 7th inning. Fans, join us and take me out to the ball game. It's the home half of the 7th inning. Let's hear you sing it. Let's hear ya. Root for the Bay. participation on this Junior Baycats Day at the ballpark, the inaugural first one of the 2022 campaign. We do have a 50-50 winner to announce before we get to the bottom of the 7th inning here. Please get your 50-50 tickets out. The winning 50-50 ticket number today is 130537. Once again, winning 50-50 ticket number is 130537. You have just won $152 here at the ballpark today, and you can claim your prize at the broadcast booth. Congratulations.
Fans, Baycats tickets are now available for every game at Vintage Throne Stadium this season. Head to barriebaycats.com/tickets to buy online or find a location close to you to find deals today. Patrick?
Drew Mainprice back out there on the hill, taking his final warm-up pitches. It'll be Roy Sando, Noel McGarry-Doyle, and Ryan Rio to bat this inning.
And what a Cardinals debut for Mainprice so far, coming in with one out, and the bases loaded. Got Carson Burns and Jake Wilson back-to-back to keep this a 2-0 ball game.
So here's Roy Sando.
Number 7, Royce Ando.
Ando has a hit to left field. He's also popped up and grounded out. So he's 1 for 3 officially. Righty hitter facing off against the lefty pitcher, Mainprice. First pitch is a strike, 0-1.
Mainprice showing lots of confidence out there in this relief appearance, coming right at the hitters, not nibbling around the plate at all, throwing good, hard, solid strikes.
There's another strike, 0-2. Ando looking for his first big moment of this new season. Reached on base in an error his first time up in the first game. Also got a hit in the fourth, scored on a wild pitch. That is hit to right, and it is hit right to the right fielder, Tyler Duncan. One away.
Congratulations to our 50-50 winner, Nick from Washago. Winner of $152 at the ballpark today. And now batting for your Baycats, number 95, Noel McGarry-Doyle.
So Noel McGarry-Doyle has had 7 plate appearances this season, and he's reached base on all 7 of them.
Well, that's just amazing. What a start.
Here's the pitch to Noel, and it's up and away.
And he's one of several Baycats that can burn you with his speed. So you got a guy that's getting on as often as he is. You know he's going to be a factor in the scoring opportunities. And that's certainly been the case these 2 games.
Count 1-0. That is fouled straight back.
Nice job by the Cardinals pitchers this afternoon. Sam Turcotte did a great job getting the ball to start this game off. Gabe Braun had a little bit of trouble in that 6th inning, but Drew Mainprice getting it done as the Baycats were unable to score in that 6th, and now they're back at it here in the 7th.
Lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. And that is upstairs. There's 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. 2-1 count to Noel McGarry-Doyle, facing off against Drew Mainprice in for his 2nd inning of work. 2-1. Checks his swing on a pitch inside, did not go, and it was a ball, so it's 3-1. Ryan Rio is on deck.
Well, 11 runs for the Cardinals in that win over Brantford last night, and they have been shut out here to the 7th inning so far today.
3-1 the count. Kicks and throws. Strike 2, 3-2. So that's a pitch that was essentially right in the middle of the strike zone. Maybe a little bit too inside to be considered right in the middle, but still caught a ton of the plate. And now a 3-2 count. Here it comes. McGarry-Doyle hits that one to left. Moving over and making the catch in left field. is the Cardinals left fielder Buayanutso. So
First baseman, number 27.
Gary Doyle
Ryan
does not get on base for the first time this season.
Well, this has been a nice, clean game defensively for both clubs, and there have been some issues with the now blaring sun in right field, and we had cloud cover earlier today, but neither team has committed an error so far.
So here's Rio. Struck out twice and grounded out, but the ground out he got an RBI on. So it was a productive ground out. First pitch to him's low.
Got a right-hander warming up in the Baycat bullpen. We'll try to find out who that is. Looks like it might be Chris Cox. Wouldn't surprise me to see him come in for the 8th.
You know who's done a really good job today on the Cardinals side, Ben, is Jacob Underwood defensively calling the game. Here's a pitch from Main Prize. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
Yeah, they've really kept the Baycats hitters guessing. This is a high-power offense, and anytime you can keep the score 2-0, you give your own offense a chance to win.
The pitch calling has been excellent.
I really like the job the Cardinal pitchers have done today.
1-0. That's a ground ball foul, and it's 1-2. Excuse me, I said 1-0. It was 1-1. Now it's 1-2.
Chris Lazar will likely be the starter for the home opener tomorrow afternoon. That's a 2 o'clock game at Bernie Arbor Stadium for Cardinal fans. I'm sure there will be a nice crowd on hand for that, and hopefully some good weather.
Weather's been very unpredictable over the last few weeks. 1-2. Down low. So it's 2-2. It's interesting because Main Prize has worked deep into at-bats. There have been a couple of 3-2 counts or 3 ball counts. Another 2-2 count here, but he doesn't seem to be bothered by any of that. Pitching really well. At a good pace. 2-2. Up and away. 3-2. So another 3-ball count, but it's not one of those times where the pitcher looks stressed out that he's getting to 3-ball counts all the time.
So Brandon Hillier is the right-hander warming up for Barrie Baycats. So we'll see if Josh Matlow is getting him ready for the top of the 8th.
Hillier did pitch in the opener on Thursday night. 3-2 is ball 4. The pitch down and away to Ryan Rio. Throws his bat aside, and he's going to head to first base and get on base for the first time today.
The third baseman, number 8, Branfy Infante.
So if we do see Hillier in the 8th, that might indicate that Josh Matlow may not necessarily be married to the exact order of Hillier, Cox, Grievous, and 7, 8, 9 every single game.
You also keep in mind that Chris Cox is a former starter, so maybe a 2-day break between games isn't quite long enough. That's speculation from my part, but I've definitely seen that before from guys who are used to both roles. Hillier more exclusively a bullpen guy. So a runner on first, that's Rio here in the bottom of the 7th with 2 out. Here's Branfy Infante. Single last time, and then out on the fielder's choice. He's also hit into a flyout and struck out looking. I think Rio has been replaced by Brendan Cawley over there at first base, the pinch runner. So I believe that's Brendan Cawley on the base paths. It is. And that is hit to right side. Cawley was going into right center field, moving over and making the catch is the Cardinals right fielder. That's Tyler Duncan. That retires the side. We head to the 8th. Ben Davy to call it for you. It is the Baycats 2, the Cardinals nothing. You're watching the Baycats and the Cardinals play an IBL game right here on Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
For the Baycats, the home half of the 7th inning.
Revive MD Medical and Aesthetic Clinic, privately owned by Dr. Marina Bachet, a one-of-a-kind clinic that covers a variety of medical and cosmetic concerns. Visit 411 Bayfield Street, Unit B12 in Barrie, or revivemedspa.ca.
And to put $10 in the jar.
Fans, the newly redesigned BarrieBaycats.com features more highlights, more game day info, and more about your team. Head to BarrieBaycats.com now to get the whole game day experience. It's called the 8th inning. Here is Ben Davy.
Thank you, Patrick. Brandon Hillier will be Barrie's second pitcher of the afternoon, and what a start for Juan Benitez. He did exactly what he needed to do, gave Josh Matlow 7 strong innings, only 5 Hamilton hits so far this afternoon, and kept him scoreless, and now he'll turn it over to the Baycat bullpen.
And Brandon Hillier pitched in that opening day game on Thursday against the Toronto Maple Leafs. He looked really good. He's a guy that Josh Matlow, I think, is really hoping will be a key part of this bullpen. And he gets the 8th here to keep that roll. We'll see how he does.
Second baseman Nathan Scragg, the number 9 hitter, will start it off for Hamilton, looking to get something going here against these Baycat pitchers. Hillier working from the stretch, even with nobody on here, and his first pitch is high, a ball. How about this stat, Patrick, for the Baycat pitchers so far this season? 16 innings of work. They have allowed 1 run.
That's very good.
Jason Aquino with 5, Aiden Russell with 1, Brandon Hillier with 1, Chris Cox with 1, Brad Grieveson with 1, and he surrendered the only run. It was a solo home run in the 9th. And now Juan Benitez with 7 shutout innings today. So if anybody was
pitched well outside of that.
So if anybody had a question about the Baycats pitching staff, there are the numbers for you right there so far.
And later on in the season, we're likely to see Frank Garces. So it's looking really good.
Pretty amazing when you look at that number, 1 run in 16 innings, and Garces has not even thrown a pitch yet.
Yeah. That will work if they keep pitching like that.
1-2 is hit to center field straight away. And an easy catch for Jake Wilson. Scragg 1 for 3 this afternoon, and now Tristan Osika, the leadoff man, will bat.
You look at the Cardinals, they scored 11 runs in their opener. So this is a lot different.
Now batting number 22, Tristan Osika.
Yeah, they got to Brantford starter Bennett Moore early last night. Were able to spot themselves a 5-run lead after 3 innings. And much different story here today as the bats have been stone cold. Just 5 hits so far over 7 1/3 innings. Hillier puts that one in the dirt, 1-1. Saw Brandon Hillier play a little bit of outfield here on Saturday last weekend when the Thornhill Reds were here for an exhibition game.
Yeah, we've seen that a little bit over the last couple of seasons. He's a guy that can go into left field and hit a little bit. Primarily a pitcher, though.
Hillier did not get a hit, but he reached base twice. He walked and he was hit by a pitch in that game. 2 out in the inning as down goes Osika. 8th strikeout for the Cardinals this afternoon.
Shortstop number 43, Luis Jean.
Luis Jean, the man who hit for the cycle yesterday in Brantford, is 0 for 3 this afternoon. So there's your case in point as far as this Cardinal offense, just going from hot to cold in less than 24 hours. Skies this one to right field. Long run for Anderson in foul territory. He has no play.
And that's the opposite from the one we saw earlier. I mentioned a play where the right fielder, that time it was Duncan on the other team, the Cardinals, where he just didn't have a great read on it. That time Anderson had a really good read on that right off the bat. It just wasn't close enough for him to get. That points to the visibility getting a little bit better as the game goes on.
Jean yesterday doubled in the 1st, singled in the 5th, tripled in the 8th, and hit a 2-run homer in the 9th. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike to him here. Looking to get things started with 2 outs against Baycat right-hander Brandon Hillier. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Inside, count 2-1. Justin Gideon, the always dangerous center fielder, on deck, hopeful for an at-bat here in this 8th inning. He's the tying run, but Jean needs to get aboard here. 2-0 Barrie, we're in the 8th. Hillier from the belt, the pitch. Fouled away in the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He'll be locked in here with the count 2-2. Hasn't gotten on base today after such a good day yesterday. He'll be aggressive, I think. He might just want to go out of the zone, waste a pitch, bring it to 3-2 and see if he'll chase one.
Fans doing the rhythmic applause here. Baycats dugout. Right on the top step. Brandon Hillier's pitch is hit to the gap, left center field, and that will drop in front of Noel McGarry-Doyle. So Jean does exactly what he needed to do, keep the inning alive for Justin Gideon.
And that's the aggressiveness. You knew Jean was going to be swinging the bat after not having so much success over today. Must have been really bugging him, and now he can focus a little bit more clearly.
Gideon today 2 for 3. He has not scored though. Singled in the first, doubled in the 6th.
And Jean immediately took a huge lead, so don't be surprised if he tries a 2-out steal attempt. Getting to second base, even if it's risky, would be...
There he goes, and swinging is Gideon, and he fouls it away.
It would be such a huge benefit in a 2-run game.
If you're wondering about Gideon's power, he did hit 6 home runs last season. But again, I think the key is just keeping this inning alive. With Jean in motion, clearly they want to get him in a scoring position. See if Gideon can just drive him in to get on the board here. 2-0 Barrie. Pitch from Hillier. Outside and high, ball 2. Brendan Colley in the game for Ryan Rio. He's holding Jean at first. Jean with the lead. Fakes the steal, and now the throw over, and back safely is Jean. Jean bluffed the start. Had to be careful there as he decided to go in standing up and almost overran the bag.
Colley primarily a third baseman in at first today.
So a little cat and mouse here between Brandon Hillier and Luis Jean.
You might have seen Dominico Maria as a defensive replacement, but he was brought into the game as the DH.
Jean does not go in. Gideon hits this one hard. Left field, way back. It's gone! A 2-run homer for Justin Gideon, and we are tied here in Barrie.
Looked like a fastball, and it did not fool him.
We told you about Gideon's power. 6 home runs last year, and a big one in this ball game as he ties it at 2.
Just caught a little bit too much of the plate.
Right fielder, number 55, Tyler Duncan.
Really, no doubt from the moment that one left his bat. And lots of high fives in front of the Cardinal dugout right now as they're right back in this ball game with one swing of the bat.
It's a brand new game, all tied up.
Tyler Duncan now. His team tied 2-2. 2 away here in the 8th. First base side, and it's scooped up by Colley. He slips, but still has plenty of time. Steps on the bag, and that will do it for the Cardinals in the 8th. But a 2-run bomb by Justin Gideon makes this a brand new ball game. It's Hamilton 2, Barrie 2, as we head to the bottom of the 8th. You're watching Baycats TV and watching on Rogers Cable 10. Brad Reedison. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Perfect game. Not perfect, but you know what I'm saying, right? Perfectly executed, exactly. And then one bomb. And that's what happened to Reedison. Might be a dramatic moment. Should have mentioned that 1 run in 16 inches.
Yeah, I'm the one that hung that breaking ball, right? The announcer mentions a statistically shifting out of that ball is over the wall and gone!
Because he said.
Hey fans, Rock 95 and the Barrie Baycats are giving one lucky kid the chance to be the honorary Rock 95 Junior Baycat for each home game this season. Kids ages 7 to 11 will have the chance to enter to win this exciting and unique experience. All they have to do to win is sign up online at rock95.com and listen to their favorite radio station where the Rock 95 morning crew draws a winner for every home game this season. The prize consisting of 2 adult tickets to the game, a t-shirt, team hat, complimentary burger or hot dog, fries and pop, and the opportunity to announce the Baycats' 3rd inning. You can sign up at rock95.com.
Do the
Back live at Vintage Throne Stadium in Barrie. It's a 2-2 tie between the Cardinals and the Baycats. Our 8th brought to you by Mr. Lawn Care and Landscaping, servicing Simcoe County for all your landscaping needs. Juan Benitez will not pick up a win here in his 2022 season debut as the Cardinals have tied this game at 2 on a 2-run blast by Justin Gideon after Barrie led 2-0 going into that top of the inning.
And if you ever want an example of why the win can be a little bit of a misleading stat, both Jason Aquino and Juan Benitez pitched super well in their first starts for the Baycats this season. Neither of them ended up getting the win.
To short, and the throw across is in plenty of time for the out. Nice job by Drew Mainprice, trusting his defense behind him there. And there's one out in the 8th.
Pitching in his 3rd inning of work right now. Has pitched really well. Gotten deep into a lot of at-bats, but managed to work out of everything.
The catcher, number 44, Tyler Lupton.
Well, if the Cardinals pull this one off, certainly that will be part of the storyline of the game. Mainprice coming in with the bases loaded and 1 out. As Gabe Braun got into a little bit of trouble, Mainprice came in. He got James Anderson on a pop-up. He got on a fly, or sorry, it was a ground ball and a force out at home. And then a pop-up from Carson Burns, and that retired the threat. Gave up a walk to Ryan Rio in the 7th, but that was stranded. So a 2-all ball game with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th and a called strike. Even though the Baycats led in this game, which wasn't the case here on Thursday against Toronto, this is an eerily similar situation. Barrie was cruising right along here on Thursday night, gave up the run. Brad Grieveson in relief gave up a solo home run in the 9th to put Toronto on top. Nice play! Across and a catch made by Anthony Buoniuto in left field.
Second great catch he's made. What a left fielder they've got on the Hamilton Cardinals defensively, man. Looks amazing out there.
Right fielder, number 34, James Anderson.
James Anderson comes to the plate now. 1 for 3 this afternoon. If you missed it on Thursday night, Brad Grieveson gave up a leadoff home run to Ryan Santos to get Toronto on the board. And today it was Brandon Hillier surrendering a 2-run shot to Justin Gideon to get Hamilton on the board. And just a case of one swing of the bat, totally rewriting the script of the ball game. And this one setting the stage for what could be another thrilling finish here this afternoon. The fans certainly hope so. Hamilton 2, Barrie 2. 2-0 pitch is outside, and it's 3-0 now to James Anderson. Carson Burns, the shortstop, hopeful for an at-bat on deck. 3-0. Anderson taking all the way, and he looks at it for a strike. He took a step towards first. Wasn't able to sell that. And he'll step in for a 3-1 from left-hander Drew Mainprize. The windup and the pitch. And that's ball 4. A 2-out walk brings shortstop Carson Burns to the plate.
The shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns.
Burns 1 for 7 so far through 2 games. Key situation here with a runner on and 2 out. We'd love to keep this inning alive, get Jake Wilson on the top of the order back up there. Anderson the lead at first. First pitch is a called strike to Burns. Anderson did not have any steal attempts last season, but they're holding him on anyways. The pitch. And this one hit to right center field. Gideon comes over, makes the easy catch, and that will do it for the Baycats in the bottom of the 8th. Top of the 9th we go. We're tied at 2. You're watching Baycats TV.
No runs, no hits, and no errors for the Baycats in the home half of the 8th inning.
Top of the 9th inning, it's Hamilton 2, Barrie 2, and a pitching change for the Baycats as the longest tenured member of the Baycats comes into the game, taking the hill. The burly, bearded right-hander, 41-year-old Brad Grieveson.
Turning to the closer for this Barrie Baycats ball club. Had a really nice season last year after being one of the best pitchers in Baycats history in his previous years with the team. Also the team pitching coach.
Reminds me a lot of Jeff Reardon for anybody who's my age or older. He's got that same sort of scruffy beard, that menacing look. He's a nice guy, though. You talk to him off the field, one of the nicest guys you'll ever talk to, but he can bring the heat. Two runs, 7 hits for the Cardinals, 2 runs, 9 hits for the Baycats. They've stranded 10. Barrie has just 4 stranded Hamilton runners today. Grieveson does not get that call. It's off the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike to Lane Renault. Got to be careful with Renault as well. He has a home run. Hit that one last night in Brantford, a solo shot. Curveball fouled back to the screen, and the count is 2-2.
You know, he's thinking to put it there into the left center field area where no fielders are standing right now. One to line drive.
2-2 pitch from Brad Grieveson on the ground. Second baseman Roy Sando, routine play. And Renault is retired. Anthony Buonaiuto is 0 for 3, but he's done it defensively today for the Cardinals.
I was just thinking the exact same thing. The whole box score will not show what he has meant to this ball game. Two really, really nice catches in left field.
Yeah, this game could look much different were it not for at least two spectacular defensive plays he's made for the Cardinals this afternoon.
Well, it would. I believe one of them happened with the bases loaded, didn't it? And that's proving very important right now.
And the count is even, 1 ball and 1 strike. No errors. It's been a good, clean game defensively for both of these clubs. And it hasn't been easy with the sun-cloud situation here today. Started overcast and then very bright sun earlier. Still sunny here at Vintage Throne Stadium, but a little bit of a light cloud haze. 1-2, swung on and missed. Grieveson will take a walk around the mound as the infielders throw it around, and there's 2 away here in the 9th inning.
Third baseman, number 16, Tyler Giancos.
8th strikeout of the game for the Hamilton Cardinals. Juan Benitez struck out 6. And this one to short, off balance throw by Carson Burns is in time for the out. 3 up, 3 down go the Cardinals in the 9th. Barrie looking to do it here in the bottom of the 9th inning with the top of the order due up. You're watching Baycats TV.
No runs and no hits, no errors for the Cardinals in the top of the 9th. We sure hope you're enjoying the Junior Baycats Saturday here at the ballpark. It happens each and every Saturday home game at 4 p.m. Junior Baycats Saturdays. Bring the kids out, the entire family, and enjoy a great afternoon at the ballpark. Tickets always available at barriebaycats.com. That's Junior Baycats Saturdays, presented by Rock 95.
Fans, Baycats Shop is your one-stop shop for all things Baycats. From jerseys, hoodies, t-shirts, hats, and fan gear, Baycats Shop has it all. Visit shopbaycats.com today or follow on Instagram at shopbaycats. Dari Torres comes into the mound to pitch the 9th inning for the Hamilton Cardinals. Right-hander. Just getting his final warm-up tosses in. And trying to keep the Baycats off the board, of course, in their home opener, which was also opening day for the Baycats. Tyler Plumpton with the single to win it. And now they'll get the top of the order, and Jake Wilson to lead things off in the 9th inning as They settle the signs. Jacob Underwood back behind the plate, and back behind the mic, here's Ben Davy.
Thank you, Patrick. Dory Torres, native of Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, comes into this game 29 years old, and he is making his season debut here for the Cardinals, and this one is hit high to center field. And the catch is made by Justin Gideon. One quick out here as Wilson retired. First pitch swinging.
Looked like he just got under it. Got the pitch he wanted, but didn't quite connect as much. That's one of the more frustrating at-bats he'll have.
Rice Endo.
So Torres comes on in relief of Drew Mainprize, who did just an outstanding job in relief today for Gabe Braun, and then Sam Turcotte, who delivered just a brilliant start for the Cardinals this afternoon. Fourth pitcher of the day for Hamilton. And a strike to start off Royce Ando. Two hopper to second. Scragg over to first in time. Two quick outs here in the bottom of the ninth inning.
The left fielder, number 95, Noel McGarry Doyle.
We don't have any stats on Torres, his first appearance here with Hamilton. And he was not on our yellow lineup card before today's game either. So a newcomer and very efficient so far with two quick outs here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Called strike to start off Noel McGarry Doyle. Doyle had that streak snapped of 7 straight times, reaching base safely. Patrick, before you mentioned it there, and the fly out in the 7th inning.
What are you trying to say here? That I jinxed him?
We'll hold you responsible for that, and we'll hold me responsible for the me pointing out that the pitchers had only allowed 1 run in 16 innings. 0-2 on the ground. First base side, and it's foul. Baycats had a thrilling walk-off bottom of the ninth win here in the home opener Thursday night against the Toronto Maple Leafs. They'd love to repeat that history here today.
One of the bonuses of having Brad Grievous in your bullpen as the closer, as we just glance over the bullpen and don't see anybody warming up, is that he can start games and give you some length.
0-2, and that one's hit hard to third. Great backhand by Tyler Giancos. Makes the throw across, and it's in time for the out. Put a pot of coffee on. We're going to extra innings through 9. It's Hamilton 2, Barrie 2. You're watching Baycats TV.
No runs, no hits, and no errors. In the home half of the ninth for the Baycats.
Welcome back, top of the 10th here, as we've got our first extra innings game of the season for the Barrie Baycats. Closer Brad Grievous on the mound, and Brad can give you something that most closers can't. He can give you some stamina because he was a starter at this time last year. He can give you big innings as a starter or one big inning as a closer. Last time out in that 9th inning, he was asked to be a closer, and now he's going to be asked to shift modes a little bit and be that starter type pitcher. Because who knows how long this one's going to go. 10th inning, here's Ben Davy.
Thank you, Patrick. Yeah, that's a real interesting point. We've got a closer who could also be a starter in certain situations, so you could go deep with Grieveson here if you need to, although he did work on Thursday, just one inning in that walk-off win for the Baycats over the Toronto Maple Leafs. And hey, Grieveson, looking for maybe his second win of the season already. Who knows?
And it's worth noting that the extra innings rule is in effect in the IBL this season. We have a runner on second to start off the 10th. Once we get to the bottom of the 10th, the Baycats will have the same thing.
So the runner is the last out from the previous inning. So that's Tyler Giancos, the third baseman, who's at second base. So that's definitely worth noting.
We were talking about scoring last inning. How do I put that he just starts on second in my scorebook?
Well, you just slide it up, but then it's gonna look confusing because you don't want that to look like an at bat.
Right.
So you just pray the game doesn't go deep. Maybe you won't have to refer to him again.
I'll just put starts right next to the thing.
Grieveson pitched 12 games last year for the Baycats. 3 of them were starts. And he had a complete game as well. One of 2 Baycats who threw a complete game last year, Juan Benitez being the other.
You often see around all different levels of baseball, the extra innings rule started out as something not many people liked, but it turned into something that was pretty widely liked around baseball. Added a strategic element to things.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Jacob Underwood.
And you know what's significant is in the bottom of the inning, the runner that starts on second will be Noel McGarry-Doyle, who can really run and probably is going to end up on third pretty quickly.
A high hopper to second, and it's handled easily by Roy Sando over to first in time, but the runner advances.
Or at least try to go to third really quickly.
So that would be part of the criticism that those that don't like that runner rule would point out, Patrick. If you're Hamilton, you've got Noel McGarry-Doyle on base.
Right.
Certainly there's no comparison between him and Tyler Giancos as far as speed goes. So, you do have a situation where one team is gaining an advantage simply by, factor of the final out from the previous inning. One of those situations that you can't possibly create an equal scenario.
I guess that's kind of a reward for being able to turn the lineup over like that, right?
You could look at it that way. That's a fair ball, and it's into left field, and Tyler Giancos will score, and Hamilton has their first lead of the afternoon. It's 3-2 Cardinals on an RBI single by Jacob Underwood. Sorry, that was Nathan Scragg. And Tristan Osika will bat here with 1 out. So how about that? The extra runner factoring in right away here in the first extra inning game for the Baycats this season. Scragg gets an RBI, Tristan Osika to bat. So now Barrie trailing for the first time in this game, 3-2 in favor of the Cardinals.
So less of as an IBL thing and more as a general baseball thing. Are you a fan of the runner on second to start extra innings, personally?
Never was. And that ball off the glove of Plumpton. And up to second base goes Scragg.
One thing I've seen suggested is that the rule could take effect in the 12th inning. So it's still kind of there, can still shorten the games, but it doesn't happen immediately into extra innings. What do you think of that?
Not in the playoffs, for sure. Even in the regular season, I like to see the game just sort of play out the way it has over 9 innings. All of a sudden, you just sort of change it up and put a runner on there. Still doesn't quite feel natural to me.
It is a different game.
Yep. I still think you have to earn your base runners. Maybe I'm old school, but getting that free guy on second base just doesn't quite seem right.
Oscar's 0 for 3 with a sac bunt.
Luis Jean is on deck. Still just 1 out of the inning. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. That's his second strikeout of the game. Luis Jean was 0 for 3 before he singled and scored in the 8th inning. Came in on that big 2-run bomb by Justin Gideon that get the Cardinals back into a 2-2 tie. And we are looking at a 3-2 game, and now they're going to give him a free intentional pass. So
yeah, that's really not a bad idea. given that he hit for the cycle
Center
yesterday.
fielder number 11, Justin Gideon.
And that is the first Cardinal walk of this game as well. So that's an intentional walk, but still, it puts 2 on for Gideon. You don't often see guys intentionally walked ahead of Justin Gideon, but that's the case here. They want to set up the force situation on the bases.
Well, they've got they're using a really modern lineup technique, and they've got their best hitter batting second, or at least their hottest hitter batting second, in Luis Jean.
Gideon fouls that one over the screen, strike 2.
And when you do that, you get him up to the plate more often, and then you also have the lineup protection.
Yeah, it's a smart move.
In Justin Gideon. Some people believe in lineup protection more than others, but between the 2 and 3 spots, I think more people are believing that at least the 2 spot is the spot for your best hitter, and the 3 spot is a spot for one of your best hitters as well.
Got a piece and he stays alive. As that one's fouled off at home plate. And looks like Tyler Plumpton got hit on that deflection off of Gideon's bat.
The thing about walking someone because they're red hot at the moment to get to someone else is Gideon not only is a really good hitter, but he's also hit a home run in his last at bat.
Yeah, not a guy you want to pitch to, in my opinion. But
so you could even load the bases here if you wanted to and try to go for Tyler Duncan with 2 out. But obviously 2 straight intentional walks is not something you see very often.
No, that would really be unconventional. And then
Did he break his bat?
Yeah.
Yeah, he broke his bat. He's going back for a new one.
So Gideon with a fresh piece of lumber, and the count is 0-2 with 2 out here in the 10th inning. It's Hamilton 3, Barrie 2. Big pitch coming up here from Brad Gravenson on an 0-2 count. Scragg at second, Jean at first. 0-2 on the way. Check to swing. And it's high, ball 1.
It did not look like he went from this angle.
They appealed anyway, and the umpire at second base said he did not go.
Obviously, we don't have the side angle from the booth, but from this
Kinda,
angle, it did
it
not
always
look like
seems
he
pointless to me to appeal to an umpire who's at second base as opposed to third. But
yeah, you want the
in that
side
situation. 1-2 from Brad Gravenson. On the ground, foul. And we'll do another 1-2.
Umpire set up at second and first right now is you're not going to get that side angle the way you really want it.
And that's the reason they do the appeal.
Yeah, the first base umpire is not going to see it. So they went to second, and he didn't get a great look from the angle he's at, second base.
Top of the 10th, 3-2 Hamilton. Brad Gravenson with the 1-2, swung on and missed. Justin Gideon goes down on strikes, so the decision to walk Luis Jean pays off as Gideon goes down swinging, but the Cardinals take their first lead of the afternoon. It's 3-2 Hamilton, do or die for the Baycats in the bottom of the 10th. You're watching Baycats TV and watching Rogers Cable 10.
1 hit and no errors for the Cardinals in the top of the 10th. Fans, when the Kitchener Panthers come to town on Thursday, June the 23rd, it'll be Military Day at Vintage Throne Stadium. For more details and ticket information, please visit barriebaycats.com.
We wanted a
Leading off the 10th for the Baycats. baseman, number 17, Brendan Coley.
Runner at second, nobody out here in the bottom of the 10th inning, as Noel McGarry Doyle will head out to the second base bag as the final out of the 9th, so he'll be on base for Brendan Coley, Branfy Infante, and Dominico Maria. As the Baycats need at least one to keep this going, they trail 3-2 in the bottom of the 10th. Dory Torres came on in relief and had a clean 9th inning for Hamilton, getting the Baycats 3 up, 3 down. Just the second time this afternoon Barrie went 3 up, 3 down in this ball game so far.
Keep an eye on McGarry Doyle at second.
Outside corner, strike one. Coley looking for his first hit with the Baycats this season.
Did have a big hit or two in the exhibition game, though.
McGarry Doyle, not much of a lead. Now he goes. Pitch on the ground, and it'll roll foul. Well, McGarry Doyle didn't have a big lead, but he didn't need one. He's so fast. Those long legs.
That's the thing with him and Jake Wilson, right? They don't have to have that big lead to get down to the next base. I think even with all the speed on this roster, him and Wilson are the only two guys that can really just do that.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and now Torres will step off and look McGarry Doyle back to the bag.
I know it's a big extra base, but McGarry Doyle is so fast that it's almost so inevitable that he'll get down there that you don't want to focus on him too much.
High fly ball to center field. Justin Gideon underneath it. Makes the catch. McGarry Doyle tags. He's going to go. Here's the throw. The slide. He's in. So a sacrifice fly by Brendan Coley getting the job done. A routine fly ball, but McGarry Doyle gets to third base with 1 out.
The third baseman, number 8, Branfy Infante.
Branfy Infante hit .325 last season for the Baycats, 9 RBIs in 11 games. This would be a big one here with 1 out in the bottom of the 10th inning.
1 for 4 today with a single.
Dory Torres gets the curveball over for a strike. Here's the pitch. And that one misses 1-1. Cardinals up 3-2, bottom of the 10th. Torres with the pitch on the ground, and it's foul. Over to the first base coach's box. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here. Underwood puts down the sign. Torres from the belt. The 1-2, off speed, and it misses away. And the count is even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Newcomer Dominico Maria, the DH on deck. Tyler Plumpton to follow.
It's a good take right there by Infante, because sometimes the off speed is so different than the fastball that you want to go for it.
Defensive swing there to stay alive, and he hits it on the ground foul. Count 2-2.
Even if it's outside the strike zone by what looks like a little bit, it's so much more appealing than the fastball to hit because it looks so much slower that you go for it. And oftentimes you chase just a little bit outside the strike zone. So it's a good job that he's avoiding that.
The infielder's in just on the grass by about a half a step, and this one hits to center field. Gideon going back, near the track, and he can't make the catch. It's over his head. In to score is McGarry Doyle, and the Baycats have tied it at 3. Gideon slow to get up. He had a long way to go back.
Number 55.
Couldn't come up with it, and it's an RBI double for Branfy Infante. Well, it would have been a run scored whether he caught it or not. You can look at it that way. There's
It's true.
no way McGarry Doyle was going to be still at third on that, but boy, oh
But
boy.
the 1 out versus 2 out thing makes a big difference. They're going to walk Maria to get to Tyler Plumpton after Plumpton with the walk-off in the first game.
Wow, this sets the stage for a baseball story that would be fit for a movie. Tyler Plumpton, the hero here on Thursday night against Toronto with that big RBI, bringing in James Anderson and a chance to be the hero again.
So the reason they walked Maria was not to get to Plumpton. It was to set up the double play opportunity to try and get out of the inning.
Plumpton, first pitch swinging, hits it to center field, and it's caught by Justin Gideon. Runners have to go back. Oh, this crowd was buzzing with that one. Plumpton, first pitch swinging.
The right fielder,
Hit it on a pretty straight line drive, though,
James Anderson.
and not nearly high or deep enough to get past Justin Gideon. So 2 out in the inning. And it'll be James Anderson's turn. This 3-3 tie. McGarry Doyle scoring on a double by Branfi Infante. He's at second. Dominico Maria at first. 3-3, 2 out, bottom of the 10th. Anderson has reached base twice today, 1 for 3 with a single. Pitch from Torres. This one's hit over the shortstop and into left center field. Rounding third is Infante. He's going to score, and the Baycats win it in extra innings by a score of 4-3. James Anderson mobbed by his teammates, and a celebration out there on the infield as he comes through in the clutch. And the Baycats are 2-0. 2 home games here to kick off the season.
Well, he was the one who scored in the opener, and now he gets to hit it. And James Anderson with a hit at the right time to give the Baycats that 4-3 win. Just kept on fighting through the whole thing, never gave up through either of the first 2 games, and now the Baycats have opened their season 2-0.
You can tell the fans were really hoping Tyler Plumpton would come through and be the hero 2 straight games. Next best thing, certainly James Anderson, because he scored the winning run on Thursday night. Today, he drives in the winning run. And a thrilling 4-3, 10-inning victory for the Baycats over the Hamilton Cardinals. Hamilton will open their season at home tomorrow afternoon at Bernie Arbor Memorial Stadium. The Baycats head to Kitchener for a holiday Monday 5 o'clock game against the Panthers. And then Patrick and I will be back here on Thursday night when the Guelph Royals come to town for our next broadcast here on Rogers TV and Baycats TV. Thanks for joining us from Vintage Throne Stadium. Final today, Baycats 4, Hamilton 3. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.
At the box office. For 107.5, Cool FM, I'm Rob Daniels. Thank you so much for coming out to the park. Get home safely and look forward to seeing you next time. Oh, and one last thing, kids do run the bases. They get to run the bases each and every Saturday after a Baycats Saturday home game. Run the Baycats, run the bases.